Sports Sound International Football with Joel Taggart.
Good evening, welcome. 2 games down, 2 games to go in Northern Ireland's Nations League quadruple header this month. So far, it's been pretty underwhelming, I'm sure you would agree, with a home defeat to Greece, a draw in Cyprus, and not a single goal to show for the efforts of the players so far. Next stop, it's a first meeting between Northern Ireland and Kosovo. The players playing 2 away games after the game in Cyprus. They're in Kosovo tonight, and then it's back to Belfast to round off this series of the first 4 Nations League games against Cyprus at Windsor Park on Sunday, and then the 2 remaining Nations League games will be played in September. That will be a game in Greece and another home game against Kosovo. So will the performances improve in these remaining Nations League matches? The results have been as poor as ever in this competition. Northern Ireland still waiting for a first win in the Nations League. Will it come tonight? And if it does, who's the hero going to be? We'll get the team news from our commentary team. Keith Gillespie and Warren Feeney are with me here in the studio. We'll get their thoughts on said team news once we've heard from John O'Neill and Michael McNamee. How many changes tonight, Michael?
Good evening, everyone. Another 5 changes made by Northern Ireland boss Ian Barraclough. And first starts tonight in the men's senior team for Brodie Spencer and Conor McMenamin, both of whom came on for 26-minute cameos in Larnaca on Sunday. So 5 changes in all. Of course, Northern Ireland's 13th attempt to win in the Nations League. So Spencer's in, McMenamin is in, along with Dan Ballard, Ali McCann and Shane Lavery. Paddy McNair drops out of the squad entirely, so he's making way along with Paddy Lane, Niall McGinn, Gavin White and Shay Charles. So the team, we think it's going to be Peacock Farrell in goal. He's one of 4 players to start all 3 matches so far. Then a back 3 of Ballard, Johnny Evans and Brown. We think it's going to be the wing backs of Brodie Spencer on the right hand side. He came on and played on the left against Cyprus, and McMenamin we think on the left, with a midfield trio of Ali McCann, Stephen Davis captaining the side for the 80th time tonight, and George Saville. The 3 outfield players to start all 3 games are Davis, Saville and Johnny Evans, with the 2 L-men, Shane Lavery and Kyle Lafferty up front. Lafferty starting consecutive competitive internationals, winning his 88th cap tonight, and still looking for his first goal since November 2016. And forced changes in a Kosovo side managed by the former France midfield great Alain Giresse. John O'Neill knows all about him and his old teammate from the 80s. Giresse forced into at least 2 changes. He makes I think 5 in all, but those changes in goal, because Muric, the former Manchester City goalkeeper, was one of 2 players sent off in that 1-0 defeat by Greece. So in comes Ukani to captain the team. And the other notable player, I suppose you could talk about, Muriqi, who's got 18 goals, Kosovo's top international goal scorer. Rashika, who played 35 times for Norwich City in their relegation season. And interestingly, a fellow called Valon Berisha, who played 20 caps 20 times for Norway before taking over as a Kosovo international when they started up as a full FIFA side. And Berisha played, well, he came onto the playing pitch as a substitute in that first game in charge for Michael O'Neill back in 2012, Norway's 3-0 win at Windsor Park. So it's Ujkani in goal, a back 4 of Castrati, Ramani, Kreziu and Rudhani. He's winning just his 3rd cap. Midfield 3 of Berisha, Dresevic and Mulisha, and then Rashika and Batiki either side of that top scorer, Muriqi. But the bad news for Giresse, it looks as if he's down to not quite the bare bones, but only 8 substitutes named by Kosovo, who of course have already got a win in the group. That 2-0 win on match day 1 away to Cyprus. Joe.
Michael, thank you for that. In studio with me, Keith Gillespie is going to provide the assists, and Warren Feeney's hopefully going to score the goals for us this evening and hit the target. Keith, first of all, what do you make of that? We're back to 3-5-2.
Yeah, I think the back 3 probably picked itself, but a few surprises there. I think McMenamin coming in there, he's had a fantastic season, obviously, in the Irish League. But
your two wing backs are basically starting their first international matches.
I mean, as Conor McManaman played wing back before for Glentoran, that I'm not too sure of that. He's
maybe a couple of games they tried it, but certainly you expect to see him on the left side of a front three, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's maybe a new position for him. See him, Brodie Spencer again, very inexperienced, obviously as well. Lafferty's obviously kept his place as well, and he's gone with a bit of pace there, the big man and the little man, which hopefully might work. But we really need a big performance tonight, because the last two games have been so bad, and you can sort of hear people getting really disgruntled with the way things are going. So we need a big performance, and more importantly, a victory.
No Shea Charles, Warren.
Yeah, it's I was a bit surprised when the team come, because I thought our midfield would be the strongest. Obviously, for McNair to be out of the whole squad together, I don't know. He didn't look injured the other night, so it's a difficult one, obviously, for the manager if he's made himself unavailable or whatever it was. But
we don't know that, to be fair.
Yeah, that's the city bit. We don't know, but I think it's the strongest point that you'd look at in the middle of the park, and I thought Shea would be a starter, definitely.
Everybody was raving about him, weren't they?
Yeah, he's a good player. I said before, he's neat and tidy, but he can fill in different positions. But maybe you could put him and push Dave one up. But listen, who knows? As I said, it's very, as Keith says, out in the wide areas, it's inexperienced. I thought Conor done very well when he came on the other night, higher up the pitch.
He put some good crosses into the box, didn't he?
He did, but he can't play as a centre forward as well, or on the left of a three. And I think he was direct. He got him behind him, and maybe he's hoping for that. As I say today, I know obviously he's been full time with the Glens last year, but the big one for me is the fitness in those areas, as Keith says. With Brodie's inexperienced, Conor's inexperienced, and we want them going forward and not being pushed back.
When you heard on the occasional times that it happened, Keith, that you were going to play wide right as a wing back in a 3-5-2, did your heart sink? You can say it now, because in interviews after games at the time you always say, well, I'm just delighted to be in the team, but you can say it now, nobody's listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
How different is it if you are Conor McManaman, like yourself, his game is about the attacking third, and it's getting to the byline and getting supply into the box. So how big of a change is this for him tonight?
Yeah, it's massive, because obviously you've got a normal right back behind you. The person behind you now who sort of has to come across is a centre half who doesn't want to get pulled out into those areas. So I played it a few times for Northern Ireland, and I didn't enjoy it that much, but as you say, it's one of them that you're happy to play anywhere. But as you say, I can say it now, where I wasn't too thrilled about it. But these lads are very inexperienced, and what we don't want is it turned into a 5-3-2, which sort of happened in the first half, especially against Greece. We need the players to get further forward, and I think it's important that both the right and left sided players in the three at the back make sure that they push those wing backs further forward.
Yeah, the only real measure that we have, Warren, is that in terms of the rankings, Kosovo and Cyprus are pretty close, but we know that Kosovo went to Cyprus and won 2-0. Now all of a sudden they've got these two players suspended. I think the goalkeeper was one of them who was sent off in the game against Greece. So are we expecting a team slightly better than Cyprus?
Yeah, I think so. And knowing from being in the Eastern European area, the teams are very slick. When I was out in Bulgaria, it's the one thing that I learned quickly, that these boys like to play football and play football fast. And you look at Kosovo, they've got good players. I don't think you can look at where they are. They go in Cyprus, where we struggled in Cyprus, and they go and beat them comfortably. And I know a couple of their players are obviously out through suspensions, but there's good enough footballers to step in there. And as I said the other day, there's no easy games in football, especially at international level. But whenever we're low in confidence and things aren't going well for us at this moment.
Just seeing a shot of the tunnel, Keith, and there's Stephen Davis standing. He's behind the assistant referee, about to lead Northern Ireland out for the 80th time as captain. It's his 99th competitive game for Northern Ireland if you take the friendlies out of the equation. And 17 years and 120 days since his full international debut, that 1-0 defeat against the 10 men of Canada, when he lit up Windsor Park, basically, that he was the only positive that night. And there he is, still going strong and climbing up that list of all-time leading appearance makers, not for Northern Ireland, but basically in European football. We'll get a look at where he is on that list in a moment or two. He's still going strong. He started all 3 of the games now. He wants to clock up as many of those caps as he possibly can. We'll get your thoughts, Keith, on his performance and the others at half-time. Warren, you as well. You can make yourselves comfortable. Plenty of supporters, it seems, in the crowd from Northern Ireland who've made that trip. Around 400 of them, we're led to believe. And our commentary team standing by, hoping for a few goals at least. Here's John O'Neill and Michael McNamee.
Yes, Northern Ireland have not scored in their last 3 international matches. They're kitted out in white shirts, white shorts, and those minty green, pale green socks. And we'll pause for the anthems. This is Kosovo's 72nd international match. They first played just over 12 years ago, and they're hoping to score their 100th senior international goal in men's football. Kosovo, another team who play in blue in this Nations League group C2, and we're seeing the players just giving the traditional pre-match hand taps. The match officials are all from Denmark, led by Jakob Kellet, the referee. Couple of points of notice. We think that Conor McMenamin is the first Glentoran player to start a senior men's competitive international since Andy Smith against Armenia in September 2003, and Conor McMenamin hoping to become the first men's Glens players to score a senior international goal since one Warren Feeney Senior on his only cap against Israel in 1976. I know that's a disputed goal, but we'll give it to Warren's dad. Alongside me, a man who knows Alain Giresse very well, a man who got 4 minutes off the bench in that 4-1 World Cup defeat back in 1982 when Giresse scored twice, played a full part, of course, in 86. John O'Neill. Yeah, Alain Giresse, he's popping up, isn't he? It's a bit random, these Gus Poyet earlier in the group, and now Alain Giresse.
I know, a tremendous player he was. The first time we played against him, Michael, we played in a warm-up in the Parc de France, and he beat us 4-0 as well. And what a midfield, you Giresse, Tigana, Platini and Fernandez. We actually played them in a warm-up before the 86 World Cup, and we managed to get a draw 0-0, so I'd rather you talk about that game.
Well, I tell you what, Giresse must be in the air miles. He has managed Georgia, Gabon, 2 spells with Mali, Senegal, Tunisia, and he was also one of the candidates for the Cameroon job, but was named as Kosovo manager earlier in the year, February 2022, unbeaten so far in his 4 games in charge.
Well, I hope this midfield don't play as well as the midfield that they played in, but know very little about them. We know they've got a few good players, they've played in decent leagues, but I think it's all down to Northern Ireland's performance tonight. We've got to find a way to get some decent service into our front two, get us up the park, put a bit of pressure on their back four, and hopefully try and get this elusive goal. I think it's going to be tough, especially with the two lads on the wing-backs position who are relatively inexperienced.
Well, we will keep you up to speed with events in the other game in Volos, Greece against Cyprus, kicking off at the same time. If you haven't heard the team, Peacock Farrell in goal, defensive trio of Ballard, Johnny Evans and Brown, Spencer and McMenamin making their first starts as the wing-backs, Ali McCann, Captain Stephen Davis and George Saville, with Lavery and Lafferty up front. Paddy McNair not in the squad, Jordan Thompson back and fit and able to take his place on the bench. Caelan Boyd Munson, Alfie McCalmont, along with the two reserve goalkeepers, waiting for some game time.
Yeah, well, you would think, after coming so far and being away for so long, they would get a shot at some sort of performance, but that remains to be seen. Slightly disappointed, Michael, that Shea Charles hasn't started. I thought he did well. I thought he showed enough in that game, to be the playmaker in the middle of the park for us. But we'll see how the game pans out here.
Ian Barraclough has awarded 13 debuts so far, and he's used a total of 36 players in his matches. This is his 25th game in charge, and he's lost 12. So Northern Ireland, as we look on the screen here, we're in the commentary booth just up the corridor from Joel and the boys. It's Northern Ireland in white shirts, white shorts and those pale green socks. And as we're sitting here watching on the screen there, playing from right to left, Kosovo all in blue with Uchkani in goal, Castrati, Romani, Krezu and Rouhani, the back four. Then Berisha, who played for Norway against Northern Ireland in 2012, Drezovic and Mulija, Rashika, Batiki, and they're either side of their all-time top scorer. Has got 18 goals in his 40 appearances so far. Man who plays for Mallorca, Vedat Mariki, and we're seeing shots of the Northern Ireland bench with Jimmy Nicholl and Tommy Johnson either side of Ian Barraclough, who has admitted he knows the job has brought pressure. It's a results game, and at the moment Northern Ireland aren't getting those results. Long throw though by Kieran Brown into the Kosovo penalty area. It's headed away for a corner kick in the start of the third minute. And that's Mariki with a man bun and a white number 18 on the back of his shirt. Alain Giresse, who's he's an aged figure from 40 years ago.
Maybe that's management for you.
Let's see if Northern Ireland can produce a decent set piece. Ali McCann back in the team tonight. He's taking it from the left-hand side, right-footed to the back post. Everybody's up. It's beaten everybody, and it's going to drift out of play for a goal kick. So no, not a great set piece.
Yeah, again, Michael, we did that 2 or 3 times the other night as well. The free kick or the corners, and the corner in this point, they're hitting them too far. I mean, you want to be landing this roundabout penalty spot, and every one is overhit. It's actually, it's the far side of the 6-yard box when the ball's landing. Very difficult to get ahead on from that distance. But thankfully tonight, I think it's been raining most of the day in Kosovo, so the conditions should certainly be a lot better than they were the other night in Cyprus.
Decent grass surface by the looks of things in the Fadil Roki Stadium, which has a capacity of 13,500. Johnny Evans just let that long ball go out of play. That'll be a goal kick to be taken by Peacock Farrell, who is one of 4 players now to have started all 3 of these matches in Nations League Group C2, along with Johnny Evans, Captain Stephen Davis and George Saville. So the options on a bench alongside Southwood and Carson, the goalkeeper. You've Conor Bradley, you've Paddy Lane, Niall McGinn, Dion Charles still waiting for his first start, Caelan Boyd Munce, Alfie McCalmont, Jordan Thompson, Gavin White, Liam Donnelly and Shea Charles. The Kosovans only have 8 named substitutes. They had to make 2 changes. Their goalkeeper and left back were sent off at the weekend. Chipped into the back post. There's room now for Kosovo inside the penalty area. If it could be controlled by Rashika, one of their more experienced players. Back to Castrati, the right back, who's made a run forward. They're all in blue, playing from left to right. And yes, it's been wet, I think, in Pristina. The forecast is for thundery showers. Floodlights are on. It's a dark evening in Kosovo. Northern Ireland in their white jersey. They're defending at the minute. And Kosovo have the ball, playing from left to right. 6 changes in total made tonight by Alain Giresse, 2 of them enforced. That's a nod down by Brodie Spencer, the 18-year-old making his first international start, and he's wearing tonight number 21. Kosovo again tried to get the ball into the Northern Ireland penalty area. It's cleared out for a throw-in by Johnny Evans.
Yeah, they look comfortable on the ball, Kosovo at the minute, but we're giving them a lot of space and a lot of time. As soon as they pick up, we're backing off them, and we're basically playing 3 at the back and 5 across the midfield.
Greece at home this evening against Cyprus. Then on Sunday, it's Greece against Kosovo and Northern Ireland, 2 o'clock. They take on Cyprus, National Stadium at Windsor Park, live on BBC Radio Ulster and BBC Sounds. Northern Ireland have won the ball back, a slip in the Northern Ireland half, and it was won back by McCann and fed out to this left-hand side. But it was a nice twist and turn by McMenamin. He looked lively in the 26 minutes he got on Sunday. Ball played in field by Lafferty. You can hear what the home fans think about Northern Ireland having possession inside the Kosovan half. Looking at the options, long ball played forward, and that's a ball to nobody at all. It's applauded by Kyle Lafferty, but it rolls out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a poor ball. I mean, the centre forwards have got no chance with that pass. It's too straight a ball. I don't know why it wasn't put out, wide. To Spencer on that right wing. It's better getting a cross coming in from there.
Just the players that Stephen Davis is joining on 137 international caps: Rigobert Song of Cameroon, Miroslav Klose of Germany, and Jari Litmanen of Finland among the players who have won 137 caps in men's international football. Now Ballard is being put under pressure by Mulisha on the left-hand side for Kosovo. They work the ball back. They've been listed as playing a 4-3-3 system. Northern Ireland tonight 3-5-2. Cross in from the left-hand side to Billy Peacock Farrell. An easy take for him, winning his 33rd international caps, 11 clean sheets so far in his 32 appearances. He has conceded 38 goals, so it tends to be if Northern Ireland concede one, they tend to concede another. Long clearance kick, left-footed over the halfway line. Kyle Lafferty winning his 88th cap tonight, putting him level with Mike Taylor and Sammy McIlroy.
They look comfortable on the ball, Michael. It's a little bit worrying. They're getting a lot of time. They've had a lot of possession. When they get to the 18-yard box, they haven't done a lot with it at the minute. But as I say, when they're around the midfield and just coming into our half, they stroke it around very well.
So the group as it looked at the start of the evening: Greece 2 wins from 2, 6 points. Kosovo with that victory over Cyprus there in second spot. Northern Ireland and Cyprus on a point apiece. Northern Ireland just 1 goal better off in terms of goal difference, still waiting for their first goal in this group. Kosovo on the break on the left-hand side. They're looking dangerous. That's a bad challenge. Is that a penalty kick? It's just outside the box.
He's given a penalty, I think.
Well, it's Davis on Rashika.
I think he's given a penalty.
And the referee, by the looks of it, we're looking at it's inside.
It's inside the box. It's a penalty.
That's a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we're giving them far too much room. We're standing off them. You were letting them play about, and as Davis has lunged at him a little bit, it's definitely a penalty. He's caught him on his foot.
8th minute.
They're having a check on it, Michael, but I think this is definitely a penalty. The
Danish match officials, I don't really think have much doubt about this one. There hasn't really been a protest either.
No.
It was a foul, Davis, on Rashika.
Yeah, I mean, the referee's done well, because originally, the foul committed inside the box and both the players ended up outside the box, but he got it spot on right away.
So it's Vedat Muriqi, Kosovo's all-time leading goal scorer. He's on 18. Is this going to be 19? Muriqi against Peacock Farrell, who saved a few, and he's just nearly saved that one. But Kosovo have scored low into the bottom right-hand corner. Nightmare start for Ian Barraclough's side. 8 minutes gone. It's Kosovo 1, Northern Ireland 0.
Yeah, it was a good penalty. He struck it well. Peacock Farrell's unlucky, Michael, because he's gone the right way. He's dived to his left, but it was the sheer pace of the strike of the penalty that's beat him. But I thought we started very slowly. We give them all the possession and they look comfortable on the ball, and then just a rash challenge by Steve Davis on the edge of the box, and we're 1-0 down.
The edge of the box, the wrong side of the white line, though. I don't think there was any doubt at all that the challenge was inside the box. The penalty was low on Hardy, very nearly. He got a long arm, a long outstretched left arm to it, did Peacock Farrell.
He went the right way, but I think the ball actually had gone past him before he actually was able to get across. A good penalty, but what an awful start.
My goodness me. Kosovo ranked 107 in the FIFA rankings. We know frequently they mean very little. Northern Ireland 54. So it's pretty much like Cyprus were at the weekend, similar sort of placings in the rankings. But Northern Ireland were lucky, of course. They nearly conceded at the end of the first half against Cyprus. They nearly got a winner. Ali McCann missing a bit of a sitter later on. So they might have lost it, they might have won it, and they're now trying to come from behind. McMenamin in advanced positions, won the corner on the left-hand side of captain Romani.
Yeah, when he gets the ball there one-on-one, McMenamin, he's happy enough to try and take them on. He wins the corner again.
Kosovo fans are delighted with that start. Northern Ireland now with Ali McCann to take this corner on the left-hand side. Uchkani's the goalkeeper, all in yellow. Swung in, it takes a deflection off the head of, I think it was Johnny Evans coming in,
yeah.
But balloons over the crossbar.
Yeah, it was a shorter corner, and Evans has met it, before the penalty spot this time. But unfortunately, he's actually coming away from the goal, and the header's behind him, and he can't get any direction on it.
Bakasetas has already scored 2 winning goals for Greece in 1-0 wins. Greece are 1 up against Cyprus. Guess who scored?
Oh, go on, tell me.
Bakasetas, the captain.
Well, to be honest, Michael, if they win tonight, you can more or less say that's the group seal. Yeah, three wins out of 3.
At the moment, Greece are playing binary football with these 1-0s, but the goal was scored by the Greek captain in the 9th minute in Volos. So it's Greece 1, Cyprus 0, and it's Kosovo 1, Northern Ireland 0. Muraki with the goal from the penalty spot.
Yeah, worst possible start. I thought we started very slowly. We weren't closing them down, giving them all the time in the world to make their passes, and we paid for it.
Oh dear, stick with it. It can only get better. Goal kick to be taken by Peacock Farrell, all in a sort of peachy orange colour. Clears over the halfway line. Lafferty misses the header completely. Kosovo defence hasn't been put under any pressure at all in the opening 11 minutes.
Yeah, even the ball's up. We're not winning the headers, and we're not winning the second ball either.
Ballard winning cap 15 tonight. We wait and see what the summer will bring for him, whether he's going to stay at Arsenal or...
It's incredible. Ballard's got the ball, halfway through his own half, and he's turned around and put it back to Peacock Farrell.
Now, for those of you into numbers, Brodie Spencer's wearing 21, Conor McMenamin is wearing 17. Stabbed ball forward. Now it might deflect into the path of Lafferty. Nodded down. Touched on by Spencer. Cross coming in from the right by Ali McCann to the back post. Lafferty's up, nodded down by McMenamin. Shot might come in. Spencer's being forced back. Opportunity now for Saville, his 40th cap. Oh, it's deflected over.
Dear me. Yeah, deflected for a corner. Good play by Spencer up the right-hand side, and eventually the ball comes into McCann, and it's a poor header at the back post. I think it's McMenemy, but we worked it around again until they got it to the edge of the 18-yard box, and Saville again is one of those ones, and he can't get it out from under his feet.
Another corner.
It takes a deflection.
Again, it's McCann with it on the left-hand side. This is a good one to the back post, but the header is well over in the end from Dan Ballard.
Yeah, I think it was crazy. Opened up alongside Ballard, wasn't able to get ahead to it, but done enough to make sure that Ballard didn't get a free header, and it was one of those he couldn't get headed down. It's gone up over the bar.
Now we're seeing there's the reserve keeper. There's Muric, who was on the books for Manchester City, but I think only played maybe a few cup games for City. He was red carded late on Sunday. And the left back as well was red carded during the game. They lost that one obviously to a Bakasetas goal, because he's the only man who scores goals for Greece these days. They're 1 up against Cyprus tonight. And Northern Ireland in Pristina, their first ever time they've played against Kosovo, and they conceded in the opening 10 minutes of the game a penalty conceded by Stephen Davis. Northern Ireland captain, no protests about the awarding of the penalty by the Danish match officials. And it's a continuation of what we've already seen in the opening 2 Nations League games, John.
Yeah, we're starting slow, we're being sloppy. I mean, we need to really get a grip of ourselves and try and get a bit of momentum into the game, but it's just not happening at all.
They have the ball on the right-hand side, but Shane Lavery can't prevent it from going out of play. It took a touch, I think, off a Kosovo player, so it'll be a Northern Ireland throw-in. Lavery's only previous international goal in his 13 caps came against Lithuania back in September. Brodie Spencer making his first start tonight alongside Conor McMenamin. As I say, we're looking for a Glentoran player to score a first senior men's international goal since the mid-70s. Assuming that Warren Feeney Senior, I think he will cling on to that goal against Israel in his only cap. try to sweep the ball out to that right-hand side, but there are big men in that Kosovan defence, and Lafferty does well to get back to Ballard. Now, Brodie Spencer, the teenager, wins the throw-in on the right-hand side for Northern Ireland. 15 minutes gone, Kosovo 1, Northern Ireland 0.
Yeah, they're closing us down a lot quicker than we have been to them when they were on the ball.
Looks to be a decent crowd in Pristina. I'm told there are about 300 or 400 Northern Ireland fans, the dedicated green and white army. I suspect they've got wet during the day. There seemed to be a lot of rainwear in the crowd in the Fadil Vukri Stadium, and it's stabbed forward for Stephen Davis. Davis, though, was put off by a challenge by Drezovic, but here come Northern Ireland. Davis gets the ball through, and Lafferty can't get the cross in. Good work there by the stand-in left back Donat Rouhani.
Yeah, Rouhani did well there. It was a poor ball, to be honest. He was favourite to win it.
Saville gives it out to the right-hand side. Ballard looks up, plays the ball back in field. That's Johnny Evans standing over it. Short pass to his captain. Davis gives it back to Ballard on the halfway line. The Northern Ireland right in their white shirts and white shorts. Ballard goes on a little run. He showed too much of that, though. The defenders easily cut out by the men all in blue.
Yeah, it's easy for them defending. I mean, they're trying wonder balls there.
All the way back to goalkeeper Samir Ujkani, winning his 35th cap. He's the oldest player in the squad. It's quite a young Kosovan squad. I think Ujkani's only one of 2 players in their 30s. Long sweeping ball cut out by Kieran Brown, and it's cap number 11 for him tonight. Again, a bit like Sunday, he's already covered in sweat, is Brown. He's conceded the throw-in on this near side. Castrati, the right back, takes it, gets the ball back. Little passing triangle. Mariki does well to hold off the challenge of Johnny Evans. Look at the opposite. Ball into the penalty area. Castrati now takes the shot. It's blocked and stabbed away by Spencer.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a great...
Last-ditch defending at the moment. And here come Kosovo. There's an Northern Ireland player down, but play on, says the referee. And it's a chance now inside the area. Ashika. Great stop by Peacock Farrell with his foot to deny a second goal in the 17th minute.
Yeah, good save by Peacock Farrell. I'm just wondering, did he give an offside here? Yeah, I think he may have done. A great turn on the edge of the box by Mariki. He's just done Johnny Evans there, but Peacock Farrell not to know that, Michael. He has to get down and make the save. They're dangerous.
It's all Kosovo.
Yeah, it is all Kosovo. When they get on the ball, you know, they going forward, they're more positive, they're more direct, they pass the ball quicker. They're doing all the things, Michael, that we're not doing.
Of course, the Republic of Ireland.
And they're winning all the second balls as well.
Republic don't have their sorrows to seek in the Nations League. It's been tough going for England as well.
Yeah.
A little bit of joy for Scotland, but and you can't say it's exhaustion, because a lot of these players, well, some of these players hardly played any league football in the past season.
I would say it's not exhaustion. It may be a little bit of rustiness, but it's certainly not exhausting.
It's 4 games in 11 days. And we're back at the National Stadium on Sunday for a 2 o'clock kickoff against Cyprus. Hopefully off the back of a comeback victory in Pristina, but at the minute it doesn't look very likely, and Kosovo look the more likely side to add to their score on the left hand side. Batiki, it's got past Spencer, gets the cross in, takes a deflection off the teenager. Kosovo corner on the left hand side.
Yeah, again a great ball out to Batiki, and right away he goes at Brodie Spencer. I thought at first he's giving him too much room, but the lad did well. He closed him down and managed to get the block in, although it's conceded a corner.
18 minutes gone. Kosovo 1, Northern Ireland 0. It's Michael McNamee and John O'Neill in the commentary booth here in Belfast, watching events in soggy Pristina, where the home fans are happy, and Northern Ireland are defending the first Kosovan corner in the 19th minute. Here's the signal given by Berisha. It deflects off the head of Northern Ireland defenders, out of play on this near side for a throw-in to Kosovo.
I don't think Brown knew enough about that, but he certainly got ahead to it, and he was lucky because Mariki was, right in behind him there.
Throw-in will be taken by Lirim Castrati, one of 4 players on yellow cards in the starting Kosovo lineup. Just Johnny Evans, who's on a yellow. Should he get a yellow tonight, he'll miss Sunday. Gavin White and Liam Donnelly also on yellows. Cross from the right-hand side. There's a volley.
What a goal.
A brilliant goal in the 19th minute. It's Batiki with it from the cross from the right from Rashica. Northern Ireland are all over the place. They're currently second best to Kosovo. 19 minutes gone. Kosovo 2, Northern Ireland 0.
They talked about it, the two lads talked about it before the game, the experiences of the two wing backs, and McMenamin gets done here by Rashiki. I mean, it's a great piece of skill, but to be honest, McMenamin can't let him get away there. And when he's hit the cross in, Brodie Spencer on the far post, caught sleeping, it's called ball watching. The guy comes in behind him, he doesn't even know he's there, and it's a great finish. But I mean, this is so easy for him. It's untrue.
Zemir Batiki, whose name is a great hand in Scrabble, he scored his first international goal on the occasion of his 14th cap, and you have to say it's nothing that the home team don't deserve, John.
No, I mean, there's only one team in the game at the minute, and their passing is crisper, their movement is better. You know, the two inexperienced lads, which we thought might have been a problem, at fault with the goal. McMenamin loses the challenge on this left-hand side, and the ball to the back post, and Brodie Spencer doesn't see the lad coming in behind him.
This is pretty shocking.
This to be honest, Michael, you say it's shocking, but you know, we talked about it sort of. We're trying to.
I can see how this side beat Cyprus.
Without a doubt, yeah, without a doubt. But you know, we were talking about coming up in the car to the game. You know, I wasn't confident at all. You know, I was thinking if we get away with a draw here, you know, I'm not saying we'd have done well, but that's the expectations we have at the way the team is playing at the minute.
Greece are a bizarre mirror image because they've just gone 2-0 up against Cyprus. Pavlidis with a second goal for the Greeks, so they're leading 2-0. Kosovo leading 2-0. And Northern Ireland have barely been in the Kosovan half.
Outside of a couple of corners, we've offered very little. We can't get on the ball. We're not winning any of the second balls at all. There's another one, you know, down the blue shirt. Look,
Rashica is running the show at the minute. Rashica gets the shot in. It's a weak one and an easy take for Peacock Farrell.
Yeah,
it was a nice finish though on the volley by Batiki, wasn't it?
That one's just a little bit too far out. He's looked 25 yards out and doesn't get anything on the ball. But look how slow we are on the ball now, Michael. Look how slow our play is. It takes us forever to get a ball, you know, into the either into the midfield or into the strikers.
It's all making a, you know, it's like a Ian Barraclough's comments that he wanted 12 points from these 4 games is looking a little bit like a bad joke now, isn't it?
Well, you know, to be honest, when you look at the draw and you were thinking, you know, we've got to be able to compete with Cyprus.
Poor ball forward by Davis, easily cut out by Kosovo. Sorry, John?
No, we're just saying, when the draw was made, you'd think we've got to be able to compete against these teams. You look at their FIFA rankings and where they are, but, you know, we look the weakest team in the group at the minute, and that's saying something.
Obviously, you could point to the sort of 10, 11, 12 players missing from the Northern Ireland squad, but even so...
Well, you know, Stuart Dallas, yeah, Cathcart maybe, you know, outside of that... Washington maybe, but I don't see that, you know...
The Northern Ireland looking for a goal back on the edge of the Kosovo penalty area. Davis, simple ball infield forward by Saville looking for McCann. It takes a deflection off a Kosovan defender. It's out with Conor McMenamin, who was too easily beaten for the second goal, and he was on the same wavelength as Ali McCann. The body language is not good. It's out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think McMenamin's got that little, you know, mistake he made there on his mind a little bit. He's expecting McCann to run down the line, plays the ball in, and McCann is stopped.
If you're just joining us, a quarter of the game's been played in Pristina. It's been a bit of a horror show for Northern Ireland. They conceded a penalty in the 9th minute, a foul by Stephen Davis, and that was Mariki, the top scorer for Kosovo, adding his 19th international goal. Then a first international strike, Batiki, a lovely volley after good work on the Kosovo right by Rashica. And that's all the way through by McMenamin straight to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's come in. I think he's lacking a little bit of confidence now, Michael. He's coming off his left-hand side. He's cut in field, and everything's opening up in front of him. And he just didn't have the confidence to go and take it on and possibly had a shot. He tried a very difficult pass into the 18-yard box. Too much pace on it, and it's gone straight to the goalkeeper.
Nothing is coming off for Northern Ireland. They're second best right throughout.
If we give them this space and room to play, they can pass the ball. I don't know what they're like defensively, Michael, because we haven't tried them out in any shape or form at the minute.
This doesn't look a happy set of Northern Ireland players, does it?
No, it's been a disastrous week for them so far.
2-0 at the moment. and 2-0 for Greece at home against Cyprus in Volos. So they're going to go to 9 points in 3 matches, and they are being closely monitored by Kosovo.
I'm right in saying, Michael, that the seeding for the Euro draw will be reflected in the performances of the Nations League as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's an aspect of that, and of course there will be a sort of backdoor aspect.
But I'm actually talking about the seedings for the draw. It depends on the results of this as well. So, that's not going to help us in any way.
No. Team all in blue leading by 2-0. Kosovo
Look at this,
looking tidy in possession,
we can't
holding
get close
on to the ball.
Yeah.
It's very simple stuff.
Dear me.
And here it's been offloaded on the edge of the area. Another shot's going to come in. A diving save by, I think it was Ballard, was it?
Yeah, I think it was
Vital
Ballard.
Interception.
Yeah, I mean, he needed to save that, or otherwise it was 3-0. I mean, they're just playing through us with ease.
They're not doing anything miraculous.
No, they're
playing very simple passing ball.
Passing the ball. Get a blue shirt and you pass it. I always remember. Sorry, Michael, go ahead.
Kosovo on the attack on the right-hand side.
I always remember a famous quote by Bill Shankly. He says football's about the giving and the receiving of passes, and if you can do that, you've got a chance. And that's what they're doing. They're passing the ball well. The person that's getting it is receiving it well, laying it off, and we're not doing any of it.
Seeing replays of the 2 goals, the side-footed penalty and the second goal on the volley. And my goodness me, the Kosovan tails are up. Only been playing senior men's international football for just over a decade, and they've already passed the 100 goal mark. That penalty was the 100th goal, and the second goal was the 101st, and they look quite capable of adding to that tally tonight. Lovely run inside the penalty area by Mulisha. He's eventually been robbed, and Dan Ballard comes away with it, but the possession stats and the territorial stats must be weighted against Northern Ireland in the opening 26 minutes.
You've got to say that Johnny Evans, Ballard and Brown better be on their toes, because they're just waltzing through our midfield, and it's Ballard, Evans and Brown that's keeping us in the game at 2-0 at the minute, because nobody else is getting a challenge in anywhere along the park.
They swing it out to this right-hand side. They score the second goal. Batiki now on the ball just inside the Kosovan half. And they're just saying to Northern Ireland, you want the ball, you come and get it.
Yeah, all they're doing is passing and moving. Taking a pass, moving to receive the next pass.
And at the moment, Northern Ireland can't get the ball back. Mulisha. And there's the big centre forward, wins a free kick just inside his own half. Northern Ireland are frustrated, they're angry, well, the centre forward, Michael, is coming off our back three into the the middle of the field to get the ball, and the 3 centre halves aren't calling in that far, and the midfielders being overloaded now, and it's they've just got that extra man in midfield all the time. Romani, who's barely touched the ball, and a long ball from defence should be into the hands. Well, it's been let go out of play by Bailey Peacock-Farrell. Yeah, but every time.
A bit ambitious, that one. Yep.
They seem to be a threat. This is a team ranked 107th in the world, John.
To be fair to them, I don't think on this performance they're playing the 107th in the world. But they're giving us a football lesson at the minute.
It's going to be a goal kick to be taken by Bailey Peacock-Farrell. Left-footed. He goes to this left-hand side. It's nodded on by Kieran Brown. Decent ball now for Conor McMenamin on the left-hand side. One defender in front of him. 2 attackers in white shirts waiting for the cross, but just
he's cut back in,
taken
Michael.
off his toe by Drezovic.
Yeah, he's gone down the left-hand side and he's feinted to cross the ball, cut back in on his right foot, and the occasion was lost. I don't know why he just didn't sling it in on his left foot. Clearance
left-footed by the Kosovan defence. There's a little bit of room now on their left-hand side. That's the left back has been brought down. Rouhani, who's asking for a yellow card. The Danish referee is going to agree with that, and Shane Lavery goes into the referee's notebook.
Yeah, I think that's frustration. He's broken away, and Lavery's done his best to try and get back in the game, but he stretches out the foot, definitely brings him down.
So Lavery on Rouhani, and he goes into referee Jakob Kellett's notebook. And they play 28.5 minutes in Pristina, and Kosovo thoroughly deserved 2-0 lead from Northern Ireland, who...
I mean, we've seen some bad games before, between teams that are evenly matched, and it's been poor games. But, if you're watching this as a neutral, Kosovo are playing some great stuff.
I mean, you think back to the awful performance in Estonia a few years ago, the 4-1 defeat, the terrible defeat against Luxembourg when things were going against Michael O'Neill. This at the minute is ranking amongst those performances.
I mean, Joel was talking about it before the game, Michael. You know, we're on about Steve Davis and all the, you know, we think back to the awful game against Canada when 1-0 defeat against 10 men, and Steve Davis was the shining light in that game. And I was sort of drawing comparisons to Shea Charles coming on the other night. I thought he played very well, but he's not there again.
Kosovo were first every ball. They were first in that clearance by Bailey Peacock-Farrell. Rashika is taking on Spencer. Gets a shot in straight at the goalkeeper. They look a threat.
They do.
Coming forward every time.
Yeah, and Spencer is, you know, is having a tough time with it out there. Again, Rashika,
at the moment, the inexperienced wing-back experiment is not working.
It's not working, no. You know, I mean, the lad's been exposed out there, and I think it was Warren. I think it might have said that, you know, your centre halves don't be wanting to be going away out there. You know, that's not their game, and the lad's been isolated a little bit.
Half an hour gone. 2-0 Kosovo. Still 2-0 for Greece against Cyprus in Volos. Northern Ireland get the ball out to that right-hand side. They have 3 men waiting for a decent cross from Lavery. Takes a deflection and into the hands of goalkeeper Ichkani.
But again, the lads, and you know, there doesn't seem to be any urgency. There's no runs being made here. You know, he's trying to cross the ball there.
It's a terrible ball in.
It's a terrible ball in, but our guys are on the edge of the 18-yard box. To be fair. You know,
takes a deflection off the defender and just loops into the waiting hands of the goalkeeper. Kyle Lafferty, his performance, or his, you know, matches so far in this Nations League campaign hasn't looked like adding to, apart from that free kick, hasn't looked like adding to his 20 international goals.
To be fair to him, he isn't getting any sort of a service into the box, and when the service is poor, he stops making the runs because he's more or less saying, well, there's points here. I'm not getting any sort of service at all. He's not getting any balls in defeat that he can play off. And they're just playing throughs the whole time. I mean, it's almost like a 5-a-side for them all over the park. You just keep them the ball.
And you mean, in these circumstances, you say, well, are there any changes worth making? You'd probably say no.
Well, you look at the side that started against Greece and to this side, Michael, you know, how many changes have we made even in that, you know, the 3 games? And it's no different.
And when you're looking for experience, there's not an awful lot on the bench, is there? Outside of Niall McGinn, Jordan Thompson, Gavin White. There's not an awful lot there. A lot of young kids. Liam Donnelly, who's barely played international football. I mean,
this is great play by the centre forward again.
They're linking up very well, the men in blue. They look as if they've got about 2 extra players.
And it's because we're not picking up. When the centre forward comes off, our 3 centre halves are letting
Lovely interlinking play. Mariki, edge of the area. He's been pushed wide. He's got support. Long range shot come in. Great save to deny Mulisha. And that's another splendid diving save, and play continues with Kosovo on the ball. They try and scoop it towards the centre forward, but it's into the hands of Bailey Peacock-Farrell. Great save by him.
Yeah, again, the centre forward, Mariki's done brilliant, you know, on the edge of the box, and he slips it to Militia, and he hasn't got a lot of room, you know, he's not short back left, but he's almost got it into Bailey Peacock-Farrell's top right-hand corner, and that's a tremendous save. Otherwise, we're 3-0 down.
This could be a very long evening.
Well, I tell you, we've got to get tighter. The centre forward is coming off our back 3 and we're letting him go, and he's picking up the balls and doing whatever he wants. Somebody's got to say to him, if he pulls off, you've got to follow him in there. You've got to do that.
At the moment, Northern Ireland fans are hoping this is going to be a tanking shot, right? You know, a 4 or 5. Here comes McMenamin on the left-hand side, wins the corner.
Yeah, great tackle again by Rashiki. He's doing it on both ends now. But yeah, I'd be happy to try and get in at half-time at 2-0 and maybe try and sort something out.
We're seeing a replay of the previous attempted scoop ball forward, but I think Mariki, fine save, diving high to his right now. Another corner from the left-hand side. There hasn't been too much joy so far from Ali McCann's delivery. Here it comes again, right-footed at the back post, header in and taken by the keeper.
Yeah, again,
header in
Michael,
by Ballard, and taken low by the keeper.
If that's where he's going to land his crosses that far, that deep, then we've got to try and react to the second ball. And Ballard wins the header, but he's not going to get enough power on that to beat the keeper. So we've got to be looking for the second ball again, and it's just gone aimlessly through to the keeper.
And the other thing, I mean.
But, you know, there's no variation. It's the same thing every time. Every corner is the exact same.
I know you can read too much into close-ups, but the body language is poor, isn't it?
It's hard, for whatever reason, they're on a hiding to nothing at the minute, these players, and how do you get yourself out of this?
If Ian Barraclough, well, he did know he was under pressure. He is certainly under pressure. 2-0 down
Michael, there's 10 minutes left, maybe?
11 minutes, yeah.
You've got to keep your fingers crossed that we can keep this to 2, possibly get one back and get ourselves back in the game, but it's going to be a very, very hostile environment on Sunday if we go back to Belfast on the back of a defeat here.
Northern Ireland were lucky there was a poor ball that's run out of play by Kosovo. We're seeing a replay of the Ballard header straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. He got down low. And Rashika, the Norwich City fella, he's certainly looks as if he's running the game. He's the man of the match. He's finding passes, he's finding space. He's really enjoying himself.
He is.
Probably in the way that he didn't for Norwich City this season gone by.
Again, I keep saying it, Michael, when we get the ball in the back 3, we've got to get our midfield into the game.
Northern Ireland with the ball inside their own half. Spencer on the halfway line on the right. Ali McCann, lateral ball.
To me, that's an easy pass. Take it, get turned and go forward.
Forward by Johnny Evans, knotted down by Lafferty. Nobody there in a white jersey.
Now, Lafferty will do that for you all day. He's won the ball, he's won the header on the edge of the 18-yard box. He knocks it down, and there's not a white shirt within 10, 15 yards of him. Still
2-0 Greece against Cyprus. It's a Kosovan player down inside the Northern Ireland half. There's going to be a break in play. He's a nice fella in Barraclough, but the results, it's a results business, it's a performance business, and at the minute Northern Ireland are being outplayed by teams they would have thought of dismissing a few years ago.
You would have thought so.
And it's an indication of how far both Northern Ireland and the Republic have sunk from 6 years ago at the Euros.
Incredible, but what I don't understand, Michael, if you go back to the end of the last campaign, we had a good draw against Italy, a good draw against Switzerland. Where are those performances? They're not here. I just don't see they're a shadow of that team.
Is it June? Is it the month? Is it the?
I think that is a problem. Because you mentioned it earlier. All the British teams have struggled,
British
England,
and Irish teams,
yeah, they've all struggled, This time of year doesn't suit us. We're usually on our holidays. Now, it's a poor excuse, I know.
Unless we're at the World Cup or the Euros, back in the days when the World Cup was played in the summer months.
Yeah, but the level of the opposition, Michael, we have struggled with down through the years, and only maybe if you look back to the Euros when we were playing, the qualifying competition when we were playing the likes of Belarus, and we were able to get results against that and against Finland. We have always struggled against these teams, and we've always performed better against the better teams. So
hold on, we'd be better in B2. We were relegated from Group 2 B. We're going to end up in a possible relegation playoff.
That's incredible when you think about it, really.
Which is what Cyprus survived in the last running of the Nations League. They survived. I think they beat Estonia.
Estonia, yeah.
Right, a chance for Northern Ireland to get a goal back before half-time. Kieran Brown is drying the ball on his shirt. And he is going to try and launch this along, looking for maybe Daniel Ballard, who's come in to threaten the goalkeeper. Here comes Brown on the Northern Ireland left-hand side. A final long throw, but nobody in a white jersey can get their head to it. Knotted away by the Kosovo defence, only as far as Stephen Davis. Davis deep in the middle third of the pitch in Pristina. Inside the centre circle is Brodie Spencer, winning his first senior international start tonight alongside Conor McMenamin. And Northern Ireland have the ball. It is so slow, isn't it, compared to what the Kosovans have been doing. But that's a nice little touch by Lafferty. They have the ball out in the right-hand side. Now a chance for them to get the ball into the area. A shot comes in, and it's well over the top in the end by McMenamin, who's now popping up on the right.
Yeah, it was good play by Brodie Spencer. He nicks a little ball into to Kyle Lafferty. He sets it up. I think it was for Davis. Gets it out to McMenamin. I thought he had the beating of him there. Goes for the shot and gets it all wrong.
Bakasetas and Pavlidis with the Greek goals there, 2-0 up. That's the two men up front. Mariki with a penalty, Batigi with a second goal. Apologies if the pronunciation isn't absolutely pinpoint accurate, but
looks good.
The important thing is the scoreline. The home team are leading by 2-0.
And comfortable in it.
And absolutely comfortable.
Absolutely comfortable.
They've dominated possession, they've dominated territory, they've created chances, a couple of good saves forced out of Bailey Peacock Farrell, and to be honest, the backup goalkeeper, Uchkani, has a very little to do.
The only one he had to do was to tidy up after the downward header from Ballard.
It was a regulation stop, you would say, that one.
Yep.
Ball down for Shane Laverty. He's got a yellow card tonight to chase. He's putting the goalkeeper under pressure, but he's able to release very quickly to Creju.
Very cool again, playing the ball inside their own 18-yard box. They're comfortable on the ball, and I don't understand why we can't get to that stage. Is it a coaching thing? I don't know.
Well, I mean, Jerez has obviously had an impact.
Yeah. I always remember we went to play an end-of-season game when I was at Leicester, and we played Tunisia, and the guy in charge then was Amarildo. Maybe there's not a lot of people who remember him, but he played in the 58 Brazil World Cup side, and again, he had them passing all over the park. They passed us, out of the game. Couldn't finish, Michael. That was the difference.
Long sweeping ball. Castrati can't get on the end of it on the right-hand side, and it's out of play. But maybe he wasn't expecting to be dancing down the right-hand side as much as he has been.
He looks a good player.
But the big striker.
Yeah, he looks a good player.
Muriqi. He stretched his record number of international goals to 19 tonight, 43rd international appearance. Got the goal in a 1-1 draw against Switzerland back in March. And he's a big lad, big bearded fella, strong. And he took his penalty, side-footed it very nicely to beat Bailey Peacock Farrell in the 9th minute. Kieran Brown in his white shirt just inside his own half. This free kick on the left-hand side. He's nicked about 7 or 8 yards.
He has, yeah.
Flicked header on by Lafferty. Can Northern Ireland get one back before half-time? There's McMenamin going down under the challenge. He's now back on the left-hand side. Castrati looks distraught.
Yeah, I think he's looking for it.
I think he caught him.
I think he did catch him, but I think he was looking for it. I think he pushed the ball just a little bit too far in front of him. But there definitely was contact.
Set piece from the Northern Ireland left. And Ali McCann is standing over it. Hugely important if Northern Ireland got a goal back now.
They are very deep, Michael. The Kosovan defence there is very, very deep. I would rather be getting them way out of there. They're almost lining up on the 6-yard box.
4 minutes left in the first half. McCann with the free kick. He struck that appallingly. It's like a Ronan O'Gara clearance.
Cleared everybody. I mean, it actually went over the hoardings at the back of the stand, or the goal.
John, we sound like broken records, but the set pieces are getting worse.
Shocking. They really are shocking. I've always said...
And they were such a vital, important factor 7-8 years ago.
I mean, you've got a free kick under no pressure. There's nobody who can close you down. You've got a free kick at the ball. And, we can't hit the 20-yard ball.
Long ball played forward by Kosovo and nodded away by Kieran Brown. And I suppose you could argue there weren't many options in terms of wing-backs or wide men available.
No, there wasn't, no.
And we wait and see whether Paddy McNair comes back in the squad for Sunday. Jordan Thompson's back in the squad after an injury.
This is the first period of the game where we're getting a little bit of a foothold. The Kosovo now have slowed it down a little bit, and we're starting to get a little bit of a foot in the game, but it's still very scrappy. It's almost as if they're having a breather.
It's not as warm, I think, in Pristina as it was in Larnaca at the weekend. It was sort of late 20s, early 30s in Larnaca, sort of early to mid 20s, and it looks cooler. It's been raining, thundery showers.
Yeah, unless it's humid, but it doesn't look that way.
We can only guess we're looking at the screen. We might get to Greece in September, John. Long sweeping ball by Berisha onto that left-hand side. Third goal before half-time would kill off Northern Ireland. Here comes the cross. Two defenders, though, have blocked out the option for Mulisha. There's going to be a chip cross from the left. It's taken a flick off the defender. Nearly an own goal by Ballard. And Peacock Farrell was beaten. Yeah,
to be honest, Ballard had to get ahead on that. He was lucky, he didn't get much on it. And it's just hit the top of the net.
We're looking at the replay. Yeah, it comes off Ballard.
Off shoulder, yeah.
Nearly into the top corner. Kosovo. 2 minutes of normal time left in the first half. Northern Ireland are clinging on. They're 2-0 down. This is a night of potential infamy for the team and for Ian Barraclough, the manager. Here comes the corner from the right-hand side. Berisha with it. Former Norway international into the penalty area, straight into the hands of BPF.
Yeah, we've been talked about per set pieces. That was shocking.
Terrible.
Yeah, he's just hit it straight into Peacock Farrell's hands.
Yes, he was a sub at the National Stadium at Windsor Park back in 2012. Mike O'Neill's first game in charge, a 3-0 defeat by Norway. Berisha won 20 senior international caps. He was actually born in Sweden, obviously Kosovan parentage, and he was allowed permission to switch allegiances after those 20 senior international caps. Northern Ireland at the moment with a minute and a half left in the first period in Pristina. They're across the halfway line with Ballard. They'd love to get a goal back now before half-time, slotting it through for Spencer. Take it across into the back post. Knotted in by Shane Lavery. They've got a goal back. He threw himself into the net after he knotted it in a minute before the half-time whistle. Northern Ireland have a lifeline. A second international goal by Shane Lavery. He knotted it in from about 2 feet out. It's Kosovo 2, Northern Ireland 1.
Yeah, the fullback's gone to sleep. It's a great cross by Spencer at the back post. Lavery almost collides with the back post, keeps his eye on it. That's a great goal. I mean, it's a poor goal from their point of view.
Hats off to Brodie Spencer.
Yeah, great cross. But you have to say that, you know, the guy we've been saying has been, you know, man of the match so far. Rashika's gone totally to sleep. Didn't realise that Spencer was going in behind him. And a beautiful chip ball to the back post, and it puts us right back in the game out of nowhere.
Northern Ireland have scored in this Nations League campaign. Can they get another and another?
It depends how Kosovo react to this. You know, do they go into their shell or do they keep playing the way they're playing?
Great run by Spencer, terrific cross, and all Lavery had to do was keep his eye on the ball and get some sort of contact.
He done well because, you know, he was closing in on that back post
he was obviously thinking he could clatter into it.
Yeah.
He ended up in the net. The ball ended up in the net.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's a different game. We're going to play an additional 1 minute at the end of the first half. We've played 25 seconds, and Greece are still 2 up against Cyprus. It's 2-1, and Northern Ireland have something to get positive about. But here come Kosovo on the right-hand side. Castrati with a cross and a shot miles over the top, with Spencer putting pressure on the attacker, who's taken a clip on his ankle for his troubles. And I think the next long blast of referee Kellett's whistle will mean that it'll be half-time in soggy Pristina.
Yeah, a warning though. I mean,
it was the score of the second goal.
Yeah,
but
Tiki just gets it all wrong about maybe 15 yards out.
Well, I think he hit it in a volley and it sort of ballooned over off his shin.
Chirias will be absolutely fuming when he gets his side in from absolutely nowhere. Northern Ireland are right back in the game. It
was like a ghost goal, wasn't it? From nowhere. There is the blast of the Danish referee's whistle, and suddenly, in the last minute and a half of the first half, as we see a stern-looking Alain Giresse make his way to the dressing rooms, a goal nodded in by Shane Lavery has given Northern Ireland hope, when for a long stretch it looked as if Kosovo were going to add to their 2-0 lead given to them in the opening 20 minutes. A penalty slotted home, side-footed by Mariki after a foul by Stephen Davis on the hugely influential Rashika. And then a second goal volleyed home from Rashika cross from the Kosovan right-hand side, smashed in by Batiki for his first senior international goal. That was 2-0 after 19 minutes. Bailey Peacock Farrell made a terrific save to deny Militia. Ballard nearly put into his own net before that goal from Lavery. So there is hope. There is some hope, John O'Neill.
Yeah, we got a lesson. For 43 minutes, they gave us a lesson. They were 2-0 up. Should have been probably 3, maybe possibly 4. Go to sleep in the last minute of the first half. We get a goal back. Great run, cross by Spencer. Great header at the back post by Lavery. And we're back in the game. Football's a funny game, isn't it?
He did make that save, obviously, when the flag was up, but he didn't know it at the time. The pressure, 57% possession for Kosovo, 5 attempts on target compared to Northern Ireland's 43%, and 2 attempts on target. Northern Ireland ahead on corners by 4-2. You could talk about the stats, but it feels as if Northern Ireland are lucky to be going in only 2-1 down at half-time.
Yeah, and they've got to be able to take advantage of that stroke of luck. We've got to see a much better performance in the second half. Otherwise, you know, can we see ourselves getting another goal? We need a big improvement. And
without overhyping it, is this a crucial 45 minutes for Ian Barraclough?
Absolutely. As I said earlier in the game, Michael, we have to be going back to Belfast with something out of this game.
Right, we will get the thoughts of Warren Feeney, junior or senior, wherever he is now in the dynasty, and Keith Gillespie alongside Joel Taggart as we see a roundup of the highlights from the opening half in Pristina. It's 8:34 here in Belfast. And the half-time score, Kosovo 2, Northern Ireland 1.
Sportsound International Football with Joel Taggart.
Michael, thanks for that. We'll hear from Warren and Keith very soon. But for those of you who've been waiting patiently, let's get you the very latest BBC News.
BBC News NI on Radio Ulster and on BBC Sounds.
And with the news, I'm Anne-Marie Foster. 2 British men have been sentenced to death by a court in the separatist-held Donetsk region of Ukraine. Aidan Aslin and Sean Pinner were fighting for the Ukrainian military when they were captured by Russian forces. Pro-Russian rebels in the Donetsk People's Republic accused the pair of being mercenaries. The chair of the Commons Foreign Affairs Committee, Tom Tugendhat, says the trial amounts to hostage-taking.
This is an absolutely brutal thing to do to 3 completely innocent people who should be, under the rules of war, be treated as soldiers of the state to which they owe allegiance, and that in this case is Ukraine. They are therefore legitimate soldiers of the state of the Ukraine, and they should be treated as prisoners of war. The Geneva Convention is completely clear on this, and this is an absolute violation of their rights.
About 1 in 5 people who were seen as part of a recall of neurology patients in Northern Ireland in 2018 had to have their diagnosis changed. The 4,000 patients who were assessed were all under the care of former consultant Dr Michael Watt at the Royal Victoria Hospital in Belfast. He can no longer practice medicine in the UK. Our health correspondent, Mary-Louise Connolly, says the Department of Health has set up a team to deal with compensation claims.
And according to the department, this is looking at how to progress claims they describe as at pace. It does say, though, that this is a complicated process and that this is one that can be very daunting for patients, but it is one that patients who are eligible should pursue.
A health union says some domiciliary care workers are taking payday loans to cover the cost of filling their cars with petrol. Healthcare workers receive a mileage payment, but some say the rise in fuel prices means it doesn't cover the amount of money they spend on fuel. New figures show the cost of filling a typical family car in the UK has exceeded £100 for the first time. Catherine Farrell is from Unison.
Some of what we are also hearing is that people are borrowing now. And they're borrowing on some of these sites where, you know what I mean, the rate of repayment is just unbelievable. It's astronomical, but they're not thinking. They're thinking about the fact that I need that money to actually be able to go to work tomorrow.
Motoring organisations have called for further cuts in fuel duty. The weather now, here's Lindsay.
For many, it's a dry and bright evening with some late sunshine, and it's a dry night to come for most of us, just the odd isolated shower around. Clear skies for much of the night with variable amounts of cloud and a strengthening southwesterly wind. It'll be mild for the time of year with lows of 10 or 11 degrees. Tomorrow it'll be windy with sunshine and blustery showers, highs of 18 or 19 degrees.
And that's all from the newsroom until 10 o'clock. BBC News.
Sportsound International Football with Joel Taggart.
Yes, welcome back. Northern Ireland trailing by 2-1 against Kosovo this evening. They were 2-0 down, but Shane Lavery has thrown them a lifeline right on the stroke of half-time. Warren Feeney and Keith Gillespie watching the first half with me here in Belfast. Keith, let me start with you. What did you make of that?
Myself and Warren have been looking at each other at times, just amazed by what we're watching.
Not in a good way.
No, absolutely not. We started very slow. Poor penalty to give away. You could sort of see it happening, and then the second goal as well was a poor goal. But you know, we're very fortunate to begin at 2-1 because you know all over the pitch we've just been awful. You know, probably give them a little bit too much respect at times, too much time on the ball. Going forward, they do have some decent players, and as Warren mentioned before the game, they're very slick with their passing, Mariki and Rashida in particular. But we have been thrown a lifeline with that goal, so we need to capitalise on that in the second half.
The penalty incident, it was like standing on the opposite side of the road and seeing the car crash happening from a distance and knowing it was coming, wasn't it? I mean, you were saying don't make the challenge, because you knew that Stephen Davis was going to be second to the ball, and you then knew that the consequence of that was it was going to be an absolutely stonewall penalty kick.
Yeah, exactly. As you say, I was shouting, don't challenge, because you could see that the Kosovo player was going to get there first, and it's our most experienced player making that challenge, and there was no complaints at all. It was, as you said, an absolute stonewaller.
It's a good penalty, wasn't it, Warren? Because Bailey Peacock Farrelly has this reputation of saving penalty kicks. He went the right way, and having gone the right way, it needed to be a good penalty to beat him, and it was.
No, I think so. I think it was his 19th goal as well for his country. It's a striker in confidence. And obviously Bailey's a good shot stopper, good penalty saver, but unfortunate for this one, it was a great penalty by the striker, and it was the worst possible time for us. I think it was 9-10 minutes into the game. And as Keith says, it was, Dave will look back at that there and think why, but these things happen in split seconds. But look, I want to talk about the 43 minutes, to be honest, because before that, as Keith says, was just nowhere near good enough from Northern Ireland. The second goal for me is defenders are there first and foremost, and he's a young lad, but once you step on that international level or any pitch, defenders there to defend. And as John said it in the commentary, he just did not have a clue where the winger was, and he ran off the blind side of him, and to be honest, it wasn't even half a yard. It was 2 yards clear of him, and it was a fantastic finish by the striker.
We spoke about the two wing backs, didn't we, before the game, and Brodie Spencer has, as Warren has outlined, probably been at fault for conceding a goal, but he's atoned for it at the other end, hasn't he? He puts a good cross in, and all of a sudden, in the Northern Ireland dressing room, they have a lift. And it's what they do with that when they come out at the start of the second half. They must be fuming in the Kosovo dressing room.
Yep. I thought they were just trying to keep the ball and make sure that they went in 2-0 up. But it was a fantastic ball from Brodie Spencer. And to be fair to Shane Lavery, it was a brave header. Because
you're not 100% sure where the post is when you're there, are you?
Well, exactly. So fair play to him. And to be fair, I think Conor McManaman has done well at times. He's looked lively. I said before the game, I was maybe worried that it would end up like a 5-3-2, but he has, pretty much got up past the halfway line, which is what we didn't do, especially in the Greece game. So yeah, he's done well. I think Brodie Spencer's, he's been a little bit exposed at times, because as John said in the commentary, I think it's Ballard that side doesn't want to come out to that right side channel. So I think he should be maybe out helping him a little bit quicker, because at times when the winger gets the ball, the fullback is making runs past him. They do look very lively when they do get the ball wide. The
difference, Warren, has been in that final third of the pitch, hasn't it? I mean, every time they put a ball into the box, at panic stations here, we're diving for cover under the desk. They just seem to play with more purpose and more quality in the final third of the pitch than what we've been able to muster so far, apart from that one cross in for Lavery. But everything else is misplaced passes. It's not done with the same tempo or with the same purpose. Every time they come forward, they look dangerous.
No, at the top end of the pitch is where the goals come from. And we said, I think Alfie McCann had a great chance to put a free kick in, and it would have been proud at Ravenhill, to be honest. But you go up the other end and they put in a dangerous crawl, whip with pace, and it ended up going out for a corner. And I think that's the difference. We said this the other night, in the Cypriot game, it's all about quality. Connor's done well. He's been a bright spark, but at times you can see he's got into that area and lacked that little bit of quality. But young Brodie, as I said, as Keith said, got in and put a great cross, and we need more of that in the second half, but also to keep the back door shut.
So this has to give them a lift, surely, Keith, now. I mean, if they don't come out on the front foot at the start of the second half, having, dodged the bullet of potentially being 3 or 4 down, and all of a sudden only being 2-1 down and having scored the goal, if they don't come out in the front foot at the start of the second half, something's badly wrong.
Well, exactly. I think the players won't believe that they're actually going in 2-1 down, so they need to use that to their advantage, whether he makes early substitutions or not. I don't think Kyle's had much service, so I haven't really heard much from him. Lavery's hasn't had a lot of service either, but he's popped up with a goal. We haven't really got on the ball in midfield. Maybe he might make a change in there.
None of the midfield players really, making those runs and joining in the attacks either. We haven't seen a lot of that from them either. No,
apart from maybe Saville had a shot from the edge of the box at one occasion, but apart from that,
they haven't had enough of the ball maybe to be able to do that either.
Yeah, I think maybe we're probably being a little unfair at times here, because I think they're not a bad side, and they have players littered all around Europe, Spain, France, Turkey, Italy. So we know they're good players, so we shouldn't really be surprised. They're probably a lot better than their world ranking suggests.
So, Warren, what are you hoping to see here at the start of the second half?
I think it's important to carry on from the 43rd minute and get a fresh start. It gives the players hope. Obviously, as I said, we need to keep the back door shut first and foremost, but I think we need to play with a purpose, play on the front foot, and put balls in areas what they've done to us. And as I say, we scored from across, and I'm sure Ian will be in there to put the balls in the box as much as possible and get on the end of it, and it gives us all a lift. And we need to start the next 10 minutes on the front foot.
Michael mentioned it during the commentary. Greece are still leading Cyprus by 2-0 at half time. That's the other game in Group C2 of the Nations League. So it's looking like 3 wins from 3 for Greece. They would go to 9 points. Kosovo would be on 6 points just behind them, and they would still have to meet, of course, again in the competition. In Group C4, for those of you that follow the Nations League closely, Bulgaria are leading Gibraltar by 1-0, and it's 0-0 between North Macedonia and Georgia. In D2, Estonia are leading 1-0 in Malta. In Group A2, Portugal are 2-0 up at home to the Czech Republic, and Spain are leading by 1-0 in Switzerland. And in Group B4, it's 0-0 between Norway and Slovenia, and Serbia are leading 1-0 in Switzerland. In Sweden. We've already mentioned Switzerland. Switzerland are only playing one game tonight, not two at the same time. Serbia definitely leading by 1-0 in Sweden. The players are back out on the pitch and having a quick look to see if there are any substitutions. Our commentary team of John O'Neill and Michael McNamee.
Don't think so, Joel. Welcome back to the commentary booth, just up the stairs and up the corridor here in Broadcasting House. So we think it's going to be as you were at the end of the first half, starting as second for Northern Ireland with Peacock, Farrell and goal. Back three of Ballard, Johnny Evans and Brown, Spencer and McMenamin the wing backs, McCann, Davis the captain, and Saville with Lavery and Lafferty up front. Ujkani in goal for Kosovo, Castrati, Romani the captain, Krezu and Rudhani. The back four then Berisha, Dresovic and Mulica, and up front Rashika, who's been the pick of the Kosovan side, I would say, and the 2 goal scorers Mariki and Batiki. And they're underway. The referee is Jakob Kellet, all in traditional referees black. Kosovo in blue, Northern Ireland white tops, white shorts, and those teal socks, the pale minty coloured socks. And Northern Ireland, as we watch on the big screen here, playing from left to right. And John O'Neill, 1982, 1986 World Cups, 39 international caps and 2 international goals, is watching alongside me, hoping that Joel's enthusiasm and sense of optimism from that Shane Lavery goal can be continued in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. But they've given the ball away. Northern Ireland, Kosovo, all in blue, have conceded possession as well. Ali McCann over the ball. He's one of the changes tonight. 5 changes made by manager Ian Barraclough, with Ballard, McCann, McMenamin, Spencer and Lavery coming into the starting lineup compared to the team that started against Cyprus on Sunday.
Yeah, we've been given a lifeline with that goal in the last minute of the first half, and we have to respond to that. We have to play a lot better. We have to up the tempo, be more direct, and try and salvage something from this game. It all depends a lot on how Kosovo reacts to this. Do they go into their shell? Do they be a little bit more cautious? And can we get at them at the back?
Next goal, utterly vital in this match. Northern Ireland get it, and suddenly an unlikely comeback might be on the cards, but they were outplayed, outpassed,
that's what I was saying,
territorised and outnumbered in terms of possession as well in the first half, until that 44th minute. Long ball forward, nodded back to the goalkeeper Ujkani.
Yeah, Jires at half time must have been absolutely raging in that dressing room, and I think it was that Rashiki went to sleep. and allowed Spencer in behind him to put in the cross. I mean, if he's on his toes, intercepts the pass and the danger's gone. But I mean, it was as poor a goal for them as the first goal was for us. The second goal it was for us.
Kosovo in possession with the big number 20, Dresevic. And they're retaining possession inside their own half. As I was saying during the first half, there have been showers in Pristina. It's a dark evening. The lights are on, and Kosovo haven't started very well. They've conceded possession, coughed up a throw-in on the left-hand side. Northern Ireland will leave it to either George Saville or I think, yes, Kieran Brown, the long throw expert, is going to dry the ball and launch it.
The ball was passed out of defence to Mariki, the centre forward. He's been playing so well inside the circle. He's tried to pass it back to the fullback. He's put it straight out for a throw-in, and it's in the position now where Brown can launch this into the centre of the 18-yard box.
I assume that's a Northern Ireland towel that Brown is drying the ball on the far left-hand side. Here he comes, launching it into the penalty area, and it's going to bounce once and go to play.
Yeah, the defenders done well. They've just sandwiched, I think it's Brown Ballard and Evans in that near post, and the throw was then too long, gone out for a goal kick.
Greece heading for 3 wins out of 3. They were 2 up against Cyprus inside 20 minutes in Volos. Bakasetas, the captain, and Bavlidis for the goals. So it's all Greek in Group C too. And Northern Ireland 2-1 down after being outplayed for long stretches of the first half in Pristina. Now the danger's cut out on that left-hand side by Brown. Northern Ireland on the ball with Kyle Lafferty coming deep. This is Saville on the halfway line, stabs it to Lafferty. Northern Ireland retaining possession on the left-hand side in the way that Kosovo did for long stretches in the first half. Saville gives the ball back. He's winning his 40th cap tonight, still winning for his first international goal. Really his first big step on the international scene was his first start back in Basel in that playoff second leg 2017. Very nearly scored that night. He's come close in the other 38-39 appearances he's had, but he's still to open his senior international account. The ball is all the way through to the Kosovan goalkeeper, and they build from the back. The men all in blue. They're unbeaten under Alain Giresse. This is his 5th match in charge after being appointed back in February. Long ball forward. Kosovo now trying to get in behind Brodie Spencer, but he does the overhead kick, and possession is won by Johnny Evans, who could win his 100th cap in the final group game later on in the autumn. Northern Ireland have the ball, but the referee is unhappy. He's given a free kick for the challenge on Patiki, who's clutching his backside. He's back on his feet now, and Dresevic was down as well.
Yeah, they had 2 of them down at the one time.
Patiki's still down, Dresevic is up. The assistant referee is having a joke with Tommy Johnson, who will joke with anybody. He's a cheeky chappy, our Tommy. Regardless of what's happening in the pitch, he enjoys a joke. He was laughing with the assistant just in front of the dugout where Jimmy Nicholl and Ian Barraclough are sitting down. Long ball from the free kick played by Kosovo to the right-hand side. Volley. Wayward attempted volleyed cross from the right. It wins a round of applause from Mariki, but it wasn't directed well. Still Alain Giresse with his hands behind his back and his black anorak, watching on, wondering, is this going to be a second win in the group for Kosovo?
Well, the game hasn't really started, Michael, in the first 5 minutes of this second half. Both teams are giving the ball away.
Poor touch by Lafferty. Poked back, a toe poked back to the Kosovan goalkeeper. Lafferty's going to chase that down, cleared right-footed by Ujkani, who's replaced the suspended Muric, the former Man City goalkeeper, and penalised for the challenge there. I think it's George Saville and Castrati.
This is a great take by Castrati, and he's muscled out Saville, who's eventually had to foul him.
Castrati lost the ball there, but he won the free kick, and Kosovo chip it out to that right hand side. Suddenly they're refining their mojo after a wobbly early spell, and they're linking up very nicely. Now chance inside the penalty area on the right hand side. Cross comes in, and there's the third goal. Northern Ireland taken apart. It's the second goal of the evening for Vedat Mariki, and Kosovo get their 2-goal advantage back. All that hope from Lavery's goal at the end of the first half has dissipated. 52nd minute of the game in Pristina. Kosovo 3, Northern Ireland 1.
Yeah, talk about a commentator's curse. The match hasn't started. That is another brilliant goal, Michael. Again, great interchanging of passes. We've just passed the ball through us again. Great cross into the box. Can't be cut out by anybody in there. Brown makes a desperate effort to try and get his head on it. May have took a little deflection and took it past Ballard, but perfect finish at the back post again.
It was Milicia and then Castrati, the right back, who provided the cross. It took a deflection, and there was Vedat Mariki to volley home from about 4 yards out. Unattended goal, and that's 3-1.
Yeah, and again, Michael, it's that space in behind, the wing back on the right hand side. They got a lot of joy there. Lovely 1-2 in there. Great cross in, and they just make it look so easy. And we're back behind the 8 ball again, I'm afraid. And the players look really dejected there when you see them now.
We're back to where we were, John.
Yeah, neither team started well, but all of a sudden, boom, 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 3 passes, 3 great passes, and we're now two goals behind again.
Kyle Lafferty is having a joke with a Danish referee.
I don't know what there's much to smile about out there at the minute. I really don't.
The ones doing the bouncy are the home fans. It's a 13,500 capacity stadium. Are they waiting for a possible VAR offside? That's what it looks to be. So are Northern Ireland going to get away with this? Mariki, the man thinking he's reached the 20-goal mark for his country. It's a long wait. We're not seeing any replays. We're seeing a shot of Alain Giresse and then the referee, who's talking to the players, the Danish ref Jakob Kellet.
I'm not sure what are they saying that Mariki was offside, or is it from the second pass? They're not showing us anything here, Michael. All we're seeing is the referee.
We're seeing the referees currently chatting to Stephen Davis and George Saville and relaying the latest developments.
No, it's a goal.
It's a goal.
Yeah, I've been surprised. I in the first scene it, I didn't see anything wrong with it at all.
3-1. 54th minute, and Northern Ireland are back where they were in the latter stages of the first half.
Yeah, well, if you take that 1 minute out of the first half, Michael, it's back to where we were.
Brodie Spencer plays it infield. Stephen Davis inside the centre circle. Greece. They've added a third goal.
Incredible.
Limnios has got the third goal in the 49th minute. So they're 3 up against Cyprus. And Kosovo 3-1 up against Northern Ireland. Johnny Evans. I'll give you a list of the subs if it makes any difference. But at the minute, Northern Ireland still with the same team that they started. Say not a lot of experience on the bench aside from McGinn, Thompson and White.
We can't find a forward pass at all. Everything we play is going sideways. As soon as we try to play forward, we give the ball away. I mean, look at the touch of these guys.
This is nice
brilliant.
from the Kosovans. Nice interpassing. Without a doubt, there's the influence of Giresse and his coaching team.
Yeah, but their touch, their weight of the pass and their touch in receiving the pass, it puts us to shame sometimes, and we were discussing about it earlier. Why is that? Is it the coaching? I don't know.
Northern Ireland have 35 minutes in which to pull off an unlikely comeback. Ian Barraclough is at the edge of his technical area, and he's watching now because Northern Ireland have a free kick just 10 yards in front of him. On the Northern Ireland right, the Kosovan goalkeeper's directing his defensive forces at the moment. Lafferty is up, Ballard is up, Evans is up. It's going to come in from the right-hand side from Conor McMenamin. Left-footed, chips it. Everybody's jumping. The Kosovan defender wins the header, and it's going to be cleared by Berisha down that right-hand side.
It's a poor free kick,
and it's out of play.
Poor free kick again. I mean, as a centre-half, that is so easy to defend.
We're seeing the red line and the blue line.
I think they're looking at Mariki here.
Whether he's offside,
it's hard to know there. That's not the best.
Goal was given, so academic now.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland possession. Stephen Davis, not a happy night so far for him.
Again, another aimless ball knocked up to
Castrati heads it out of play on that far side. Thrown will be taken by Kieran Brown to the feet of Saville on the Northern Ireland left. Infield to Stephen Davis going on a little run. He has got support from Brown. onto his right foot, gets the cross in. Nobody there in a white shirt, headed up into the night sky by Crezu. Back in towards the back post. Conor McMenamin battling with two defenders. Cleared upfield by Castrati.
Castrati done well. McMenamin was sniffing there, and
Davis has lost the ball on the Northern Ireland left-hand side. Team all in blue retained possession inside their own half. They've had one chance in the second half and they scored from it, and they lead by 3-1. Greece 3 up against Cyprus in Volos, where we presume Northern Ireland will go in September.
Look at that.
That's another nice turn by Kosovo. That was Dresevic getting away from Shane Lavery, who's had to come deep in defensive duties. And they just retain the ball so much better at the moment. And again, it's Mulika who's been a very effective force in the opening hour of this match. And they roll it back to the goalkeeper. And once again, they're saying, we've got the ball.
Yeah, you come and get it.
We're 2 goals to the good. We don't have anything to worry about. And come and try and win it back.
No, we're not getting close. You know, we're every time they get the ball, they've got 2 or 3 yards of space.
Rouhani, the left back, gives it to a central defensive.
We're too stretched. You know, our two centre forwards are on the edge of the 18-yard box. You know, and the midfield players are miles away from them. They're just playing through us all the time. There we go again. It's simple. It really is so simple to watch.
Traditionally, our mark is when the subs come on. I don't know what you do if you're in Barraclough and his backroom team. Rouhani, the left back, coming in, has beaten 1, he's beaten 2, great run, and he's beaten 3, and he's kept the ball alive. Terrific stuff, and he's gone down under the challenge, and the referee's going to play the advantage as the cross comes in. Still the Kosovans down. It's going to break. No, it's not. Very nearly broke inside the penalty area, but
yeah, Brown was lucky there.
Kosovans been penalised, and the man down will receive.
How he hasn't given a free kick for that, I don't know. He's absolutely.
That was Spencer's on
clattered Rouhani right across the shins. And then the referees had that play go on, Michael. The ball's gone into the box. Brown's tried to clear it. It's got stuck underneath his foot, and he was lucky there that Mariki, trying to get it, has fouled him and took the pressure off the Northern Ireland defence. But
that was as late from Brodie Spencer. Studs were showing.
It's one of those ones you're glad you had your shin pads on.
Still 3-1.
Yeah.
Just over half an hour left to play. We're still waiting to see if there's any evidence of anybody warming up. Not sure that was a foul. Play continues with the ball inside the Kosovan half. It's picked up by Ali McCann, who feeds Conor McMenamin. But Castrati, who's been very impressive tonight, is scoring that ball out of play for a Kosovan throw. Down by the corner flag, deep inside their own half. And again, they play the ball out of defence very nicely.
I mean, they make it look so easy. We can't do that.
They're playing all the football here, the Kosovans, but Northern Ireland have won possession back with Stephen Davis. In the middle third of the pitch, lateral ball to Daniel Ballard, crosses the halfway line. Ballard looks up. And Brodie Spencer had made a run down the right-hand side, but Ballard goes back to his captain Davis inside the centre circle. We've played exactly an hour. Kosovo 3, Northern Ireland 1. Good touch on. And he's taking a clattering bit. McMenamin gets the cross in, and it's easily taken at the near post by Ujkani, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think McMenamin had more time than he realised. You know, he could have took a little.
It's a nice touch by Brown.
It was a good touch by Brown that sets him off. I think McMenamin's just played it in just a little bit too quickly, and it was easy take for the goalkeeper.
Kosovo in possession inside their own half, forward by Mulisha.
It's got to be offside.
Header is won by Brown, chipped forward, looking for Shane Lavery. Far too close to the defender. It was a nothing ball.
There's absolutely no way Lavery's getting anywhere near that.
It's back to the goalkeeper. Again, the big Kosovan central defenders passing the ball with confidence. Thinking about drilling it long. They give it back to the goalkeeper. He's all in a luminous yellow kit away to our right. Still 3-0 Greece against Cyprus. And there's a confidence about this Kosovan team that Northern Ireland have not demonstrated themselves tonight. And there's room on this right-hand side. Rouhani, this is terrific football with the team in blue. It's the score of the second goal. Batiki gets the cross in from the left, chested down. Here's a chance. Oh, good save. Rashika denied another flag, though.
Was it Mariki again? Chest the balls down, Michael, but I'm not sure who it was coming in the back of him, but he lets that go. It's a goal.
Rashika it was with the shot. It was straight at Peacock Farrell, who stopped it with his foot, but there was a A flag up?
I'm not sure what the flag was up for.
There it is.
Yeah, he's
Rashica
come
was
back.
offside.
Yeah, he
as
was
it
offside.
dropped to him. There you are. Rashica's been threatening, but on 2 occasions the flag has gone up. And on 2 occasions, Peacock Farrell had to make good saves.
Yeah, he's done well.
62nd minute, still no sign of any changes.
It's hard to watch, Michael, and we're getting a lesson. You know, we really are getting a lesson in football.
Batiki on the left-hand side. Northern Ireland at the moment are chasing shadows. Rouhani, the left back. There's more movement, there's more urgency, there's more accuracy with the team in blue.
Yep.
And more energy.
More energy. Yeah, we can't get close to them. We're giving them far too much room, and we don't seem to be able to change the system so that we can get tight to a man in blue. There's times, you know, when the centre forward comes off, when Mariki comes off, we've got 3 centre halves at the back marking nobody, and you know, they're just passing it through us in midfield.
You have to say it's nearly at the minute as if Kosovo were taunting Northern Ireland.
It is, yeah. You know,
you can't get the ball off us, so we'll just
keep passing it.
It's like a training exercise at the moment. A foot is in by Johnny Evans to win the ball back, forward by McMenamin.
You know,
that's a long ball that's going to drift out of play for a goal kick. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was just going to say we've won that ball just on the halfway line, and it's in a good position for us, but we give it away straight away. We pick out the wrong pass.
We're seeing
if we just saw that again. If Mariki leaves that, I'm not sure who it was coming in the back post, whether it was Muslija.
Yeah,
he's straight in on goal. It's a side foot into the goal.
They've all played well, and they've all seen a lot of the ball. They've got a lot of mentions, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. The whole team has played well.
I mean, even the sort of makeshift defence with Rouhani coming in, he's played well on his third cap. And here, chasing down that left-hand side is the very man, right in queue. The makeshift left back, but nearly overran the ball. He's won it back off Spencer. Spencer's battling to win it back. They still have it on their left-hand side, Kosovo, but they've conceded possession. It's accidentally deflected out of play by Stephen Davis. 64 minutes gone, 3-1 Kosovo. Nice passing in the middle third of the park. Here is Batiki on the left. There's an overlapping run. He doesn't need him. Right-footed cross, nodded away by the Northern Ireland defence. Out to the captain, Romani, who chips it to the right-hand side of the area. Volley is nearly into the waiting path of Mariki, who's
a better ball
on a hat-trick.
Mariki's got a side foot in the goal there.
And it's a Northern Ireland team currently looking extremely tired. Surely there has to be some sort of fresh legs to come on.
Well, we can't get any worse than this. We're not in the game at all. If it's tiredness or whatever, then get fresh legs on. If it's not tiredness, then we've got to change something up here.
This could be a defining night in the Barraclough era. We know there are plenty of players missing. We know these games are in June. We know the other performances from the British and Irish Cup teams haven't been any better.
Sorry, Michael. There's the centre forward. He's come all the way from the edge of our 18-yard box to pick the ball up on the halfway line and keep the blue in possession.
And possession is what Kosovo are currently demonstrating.
Yeah, and you know, we were talking about possession isn't everything, but I tell you what, it is everything when you're 2-0 up and you can't get the ball off them.
Now there's room on the right-hand side for Kosovo. 2 men in the area waiting for the cross. Ballard drills it. Well, drills it up into the night sky, and it's nodded away. An illegal challenge. Northern Ireland free kick. And Ballard again, who's covered in sweat, red-faced.
Having to defend. The back three have to defend. If they go to sleep, it's a goal because they're getting very little help from the midfield.
The television match director taunting us now with all these Kosovan goals.
3 good goals.
And we're seeing the Northern Ireland effort. Brodie Spencer setting up Lavery, who did very well, backing into the post. And there's the deflected cross for the third. And to be honest, Mariki couldn't miss at the back post.
No, he actually just let it hit his thigh to go into the net.
Northern Ireland have been given a lesson, and apart from that 2 minutes right at the end of the first half, it has been depressing stuff if you're a member of the Green and White Army, either in Pristina or watching or listening to this game. 66 minutes gone, and Northern Ireland have not threatened the goal.
No.
Defended by Ujkani away to the right. Here's the goal scorer, Shane Lavery. On the right-hand side, Brodie Spencer. Been a tough start for him tonight. It might break for Stephen Davis. It doesn't. It'll rub the green that Northern Ireland might need in.
Just wasn't
the
happening.
penalty area didn't happen for them. Still 3-0 Greece against Cyprus.
Yeah, I think it was Creaze who got himself in all sorts of trouble, and the ball falls. You know, you think Davis is coming on to, and it just falls behind him.
Back with the goalkeeper who side foots it forward only as far as Brodie Spencer, who wins the header. And the goalkeeper will let that bounce out of play. Surely the moment is now to see somebody warming up or somebody stripped off. Or
well, I heard the whistle going. Maybe
something's going to happen on the edge of the pitch. Here we are. A triple change. Shea Charles is coming on. Gavin White is coming on. And Dion Charles. So the two Charleses not related. And again, Dion Charles is having to come off the bench to win a cap, his 10th international cap, all as substitutes. So we'll see what effect that has on the tactical system, the way Northern Ireland are set out. But Dion Charles is on. We've just he's on. Lafferty is off. Shea Charles is on for his third cap. McCann has gone off. And the other change is
they had White on.
White
for
on.
Lafferty.
So McCann has gone off, Lafferty's gone off. Who's the third player they've gone off? Is it Saville?
Lafferty, McCann and Lavery.
Yeah. So the two.
So Charles and White for Lafferty and Lavery, and Shea Charles for McCann.
So we're currently watching Dion Charles is waiting for a cross from the left-hand side from McMenamin, who's won a throw-in. So it's Dion Charles up front alongside Gavin White. Dion Charles waiting for his first international goal. Gavin White has got 4 in his previous 25 appearances. And they're all waiting for this ball to be launched into the penalty area by Kieran Brown. Left-hand side, about 15 yards from the corner flag. Johnny Evans is close by the goalkeeper. Here it comes. It's nodded down. A legal challenge by
Ballard,
somebody in there. Ballard there at the near post, and the Danish referee is not happy because somebody said something to him.
I think Ballard actually says something to him on the way past, and
I think Ballard pushed Mariki there at the near post.
Yeah, it was a definite push. I think he said something to the referee on the way past. Yeah, and he's just having a quiet word with him.
So 22 minutes to play. Northern Ireland 3-1 down, and still they haven't created anything in the second half.
No, nothing at all.
The team all in blue, Kosovo, looking very comfortable, retaining possession, but just I say that, they give it away to Gavin White, who's on for his 26th cap.
Yeah, and then Saville's just lost the ball so easily, it's untrue.
Kosovo inside their own half, in possession. Takes a touch off Shea Charles, but Kosovo win it back off the head of McMenamin. Kosovo on their right-hand side. Mariki, I would say, is challenging Rashiga's man of the match for his 2 goals, possibly.
I think his play has been brilliant. As a centre forward, you know, linking the play up and bringing his team up the field has been excellent.
Hadn't scored a goal in his last 5 internationals.
That is brilliant.
No goals for Mariki in his last 5 internationals heading into tonight. He's made up for that with 2. He's on a hat-trick. And this fellow's played well as well. The number 8, Militia, cross in from the left-hand side. The ball's high into the night sky. Nodded away by Stephen Davis, it was, inside his own penalty area. He's popping up everywhere. And this is the number 8, Militia.
Rashiki's had a brilliant game. I mean, he's just absolutely, I think it was a Gavin White down the side, just left him for dead.
Castrati's done well on the right-hand side as an attacking full-back. Wins the throw-in off the shins of Kieran Brown, who looks a tired big fella. Kosovo in possession, edge of the Northern Ireland penalty area. The Kosovo right, 3 waiting for a cross from that right-hand side. They play it back though, and 19 minutes left to play. Northern Ireland 3-1 down, Greece still 3 up against Cyprus. Here's the ball coming in from the left-hand side. An ambitious header over the top by the fellow who's already on 2 goals and has been a threat, the big bearded fellow, all night long.
He scored the goals, but he's led the line like you like a centre forward to do. I mean, that ball come in very, very quickly at him. He's on the edge of the 18-yard box, gets his head on it, but he's never going to do anything from there.
Next up after this for Kosovo, they head to Greece It's like a mad merry-go-round, this quadruple
crazy.
of games.
Well, if this game stays like this to the end and they go to Greece,
so it's a top of the table clash on Sunday.
Table clash, yeah, that could decide the group.
Yes, and Northern Ireland are down amongst the dead men, battling with Cyprus to avoid bottom spot.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Here's George Saville on the Northern Ireland right-hand side. Gavin White now getting to the byline, chips the cross into the back post, nodded away by Castrati. And not out of play on this near side, and Kosovan defence doing everything asked of it.
Yeah, I think
Rudhani's down. I think he's got cramp, to be honest. He took a clatter earlier on the game, but I think it is simply cramp. Remember, there's only 7 outfield substitutes named by Kosovo, so there's not a huge amount of resources to call on, but I think the Rudhani might need replaced.
Yeah, he looks as if he's got serious cramp there. Not sure who that is at the back post, Michael. Is it Dion Charles?
It's Dion Charles,
should take a chance there and try and get across there.
Another change for Northern Ireland. First involvement in this Nations League for Jordan Thompson of Stoke City, winning his 23rd cap. He's waiting for his first international goal. Wasn't fit enough to take part in the opening 2 games. He's replaced George Saville for the last 18 minutes of this game. Northern Ireland throw in right hand side, level the 18-yard box. Things in Volos seem to have calmed down. I think Greece are happy with their 3-goal advantage. Northern Ireland at the moment don't look as if they're going to cut the Kosovans' 2-goal advantage that they've had for quite a long stretch of this game.
No, they don't. The only thing is that Kosovo are starting to sink further and further back, maybe defending what they have.
Led for 2 goals for half of the first half, and also since the 52nd minute. So as Jordan Thompson throws Rudhani to the floor,
in the wars,
only just got fit again from cramp. He's puffing and blowing. We're seeing these goals again. The director does love taunting the Northern Ireland fans with these 3 Kosovan goals. The one,
I tell you, if you want to watch the highlights, they're good goals. The passing is exquisite. You wouldn't say it's the greatest defending, but at the end of the day, the passing has been good, and they as a team have played well. As I say, the only thing they've done is they went to sleep with a minute to go in the first half and allowed Northern Ireland back into the game. But they allowed them back into the game for a minute because we've shown nothing again in the second half.
I don't know if this continues for another 20 minutes. I don't know what happens to the team on Sunday. You could argue that it's already going to be a dead rubber between Northern Ireland and Cyprus.
Yeah,
in terms of winning the group, It's going to have to be a very unlikely series of results.
No, winning the group, I think we'd be happy just to win a match, wouldn't we?
Because at the moment, if Northern Ireland lose tonight, their maximum haul will be 10 points.
Yeah,
which is not going to be enough to win the group. I wouldn't have thought. Free kick blown by the Danish referee. 15 minutes left to play.
Yeah, again, they did it in the first half as well.
They're going to make a change.
They seem to have a little bit of a breather.
Fazliji coming on. Defender. I think he is going to replace the fellow who was puffing and blowing and also the touch of cramp. He's played very well.
He has,
on his 3rd international appearance. Donat Rudhani. And receives a hug from his teammate. And Fazliji coming on for his 14th cap, and Rudhani gets a pat in the back from Alain Giresse, a true footballing legend as the manager of Kosovo. And Northern Ireland trying to work the ball in from the left hand side, deflects into the Kosovo penalty area, but the men in blue have one possession back on the far side down by their corner flag. They cleared upfield, but it deflects into the path of first of all Shea Charles, who's now on the ball, pokes it forward, and again Charles looking confident in possession.
Yeah, he does.
Tempted cross is blocked on the side of play.
Kosovo is starting to sink further and further back. They're giving up that that territorial position that they've dominated the whole game in midfield, and they're inviting us onto them a little bit. And defensively, I'm not sure about them yet.
Long searching ball through, but dived on by the Kosovo goalkeeper.
I mean, that has to be a pinpoint precision pass there.
Hasn't done anything wrong, this hugely experienced Samir Ujkani.
Well, to be honest, when you look at the team, the only person that's made a mistake really has been Rashigi for the goal. Outside of that, everybody's done their part, passed the ball well, defended when they had to defend.
Goalkeeper in possession on the penalty spot. And Rolls it out to this near side, cleared upfield. Kosovo all in blue, nicely controlled by the big centre forward. He's like a totemic figure for this
for
Kosovo
such a big
team,
man,
isn't he?
He's got a great touch.
Great beard as well. Here's the score of the second goal. Batiki on the left-hand side. Castrati's popping up on the left.
Unlucky. He tried a quick 1-2 with himself.
He's moved to the left, has he? And the substitute's gone over to the right-hand side. Northern Ireland take the goal kick quickly. They try to build down their left-hand side. Dion Charles is the furthest man forward. But Northern Ireland play the ball back, still deep inside their own half of the pitch, away to the left. Ballard standing over the ball. He's going to cross the halfway line, gives it infield to Shea Charles. Charles goes on a little run, wins the free kick. And already he's had an impact.
Yeah, he has
young
an
man.
impact. You know, and again, I'll say it again, they're falling deeper and deeper back, and if they do, this guy could expose them.
Drezovic and Mulisha, and nothing comes from the free kick. It was very quickly taken. I don't think the referee's happy.
The referee, yeah. We didn't actually see what happened there.
No, we're seeing the replay of the challenge on Shea Charles. Getting a few random replays here.
I think
by
Kosovo's
the TV
not
match
happy
director.
there because they took the free kick and it ended up as a goal kick. But
Jordan
the
Thompson is now
back.
suggesting the referee that the number 14 Valon Berisha, the veteran of 20 Norway caps a decade ago, is play acting to wind the clock down a little bit.
I'm not sure that he is. I think they're just tired, Michael. I think they're getting tired.
They've worked their proverbial socks off.
Yeah, I think they're tired. And
they're going to find it tough, aren't they? Well, I suppose they'll have the two fellas coming back after suspensions. Yeah. But if they have a reduced party, Northern Ireland have rung the changes to no great effect through this campaign, but at least they have the bodies to fill in.
They're taking him off anyway. Whether he's going to come back on, I'm not sure, but I think they are tiring big time.
He didn't look too happy to well, he had to go off to get treatment, but he's feeling the pace.
He didn't brought a sub on yet, but he's clapping them, so I take it they're making a substitution.
Yeah, they're going to make a change. And it's the fella Dom Johnny. Tony Dom Johnny plays for Vitesse, winning his third cap, wearing 22. And again, a hug from Alain Giresse for Berisha. And immediately the sub in doing defensive duties. Here comes the free kick, left footed from Jordan Thompson. Doesn't beat
again. It's a simple
the defender inside the penalty area. It bounces out to Shea Charles on the Northern Ireland left hand side. Shea Charles has been barged to the floor, but illegally so says the referee. He's clung on to the ball thinking he was going to get the free kick, and he's not. He's going to get a little word from the Danish referee. It'll be a Kosovo throw in on their right hand side.
Well, that looked like a straight charge in the back.
It looked like a pushover from Drezovic.
Yeah, definitely.
It's inside the penalty area of Kosovo, away to the right-hand side, side-footed by Uchkani, the goalkeeper. They're confident playing the ball out from the back. It was a slip by Brodie Spencer, but not a fatal one. Put out of play by Ballard on this near side. 10 minutes left to play.
I think the slip by Brodie Spencer caught Ballard by surprise, and it came at him too quickly, and he couldn't get his foot round it quick enough, and it went out for the throw-in.
He's been a very still figure, Alain Giresse. He's almost a hive of activity. Suggests there might be another substitution, and it might be the big man.
I think he's saying, I'm all right, give me another 3 minutes.
I want this hat-trick. Out of play on this near side. Northern Ireland will take the throw in quickly. Jordan Thompson with the ball in his hands right on the halfway line, the Northern Ireland right-hand side. In their white change kit. Johnny Evans. He's winning cap number 97 tonight, approaching the century.
Again, we've nobody in midfield taking the ball off the centre backs. Centre backs are going upfield and then eventually turning around and giving it back.
McMenamin on the left-hand side. Northern Ireland look a tired team. It's back with Johnny Evans inside the centre circle. Here's Jordan Thompson, who should be fresh at least.
Somebody's got to take a chance and play forward.
Ballard back to Thompson inside the Kosovo half. It's a terrible ball and rolled back to the Kosovan goalkeeper, who I don't think his left foot is the stronger one. He's put that out of play on this near side Northern Ireland throw.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of back passes. I think it was White was closing him down, and he's shanked it out to the...
There you go, Mariki, 2 goals from 3 attempts tonight. And he's still hopeful of getting the hat-trick. Northern Ireland on the attack. They've got 9 minutes in which to find 2 goals. And there's a slip there by
just about sums our night up, doesn't it? You know, it just slips on. You know, he's about to take control of the ball there on the touchline. It's gone for a goal kick.
Yeah, He took a big, huge divot as he went over. The damp surface in Pristina.
Yeah, the game's sort of really dying now.
It's
Kosovo are, defending basically what they have at the minute. It's really slow. The pace is slow. Goalkeeper's doing nothing. He's just standing waiting for a white shirt to close him down. He'll stand there all day unless they do.
Kosovo are happy with their 3-1. They've given the ball away.
Yeah, they're starting to
Northern Ireland have given the ball away.
Yeah, they're starting to make mistakes, more than they did in the first half, but we still can't capitalise on it.
Kosovo throwing on this near side. If you didn't know your football, you might think that Tommy Johnston's the Northern Ireland manager, because he's
the one
seems to be the most prominent one on the side of the pitch. We see Eddie Boothroyd alongside Ian Barraclough, who are sitting down. Northern Ireland have one possession back, but Dion Charles can't get past the big defender in front of him. And it has broken on this near side for Thompson, who gives it ball back to Brodie Spencer. Ball across the park to Johnny Evans inside the centre circle. Just under 8 minutes of normal time left.
That's the ball you want.
Shea Charles it was who played it.
Yeah, it's a great ball, Michael. The ball's come in from Johnny Evans. Shea Charles takes one touch, bang, and it's into Dion Charles at the edge of the 18-yard box, and they foul him and we get a free kick. That gets us up the park. That's the type of pass that we need, and we just don't see enough of it. But I think, to be fair, I think Shea Charles is the only one in the side that can make that pass.
Northern Ireland have created nothing from their set pieces tonight. This is a more centrally positioned one, the free kick. Maybe in line with the left-hand post as we look at it. It's chipped to the back post and nodded in by Daniel Ballard. A goal back in the 83rd minute. His second international strike is the first decent set piece of this Nations League campaign. And Northern Ireland again have a little bit of hope.
Yep.
7 minutes left to play. It's Kosovo 3, Northern Ireland 2.
Yeah, I told you, Michael, they're tiring. They're inviting us on to him. Great ball by Shea Charles into Dion Charles. He gets the foul. Beautiful cross by McMenamin and a bullet header by Ballard.
Yeah, I think it was Thompson. Thompson with the free kick.
Oh, it was Thompson with the free kick.
Thompson with the free kick in. Brilliant. And Ballard with the header. And he did very well.
The centre half. Maybe somebody else would have given a free kick, but there was no stopping him. They have got to, Kosovo now have got to react to this.
And they're reacting by going on the attack and trying to get their 2-goal advantage back. Long, high cross to the back post should be Bailey Peacock Farrell's, and is. There's not going to be a sting in the tail, is there? There's still time.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't.
You have commented on the exhaustion.
They look tired.
Demonstrated by the team in blue.
Yeah, they look a tired side.
It's 3-2. Still 3-0 Greece. So Daniel Ballard, second international strike for him. They're trying to get Northern Ireland, trying to get Brodie Spencer down that right-hand side. Castrati wins the ball back, but he's given it away to Spencer. Spencer squares it. A chance and a miss. Oh my goodness me, that was a big opportunity for Conor McMenamin. The defender did just enough. He didn't get clean contact with the goal gaping. Spencer won the ball back, and from 6 yards out, a clean contact on that, and was 3-3.
I don't know how he misses this. I don't know how the defender gets a foot in front of it here. He's
missed the ball.
He's missed the ball. The defender's actually just put it clean out for a corner.
Northern Ireland corner on the right-hand side. What might have been. Here comes the corner from the right. It's headed over the bar by a defender, and you called it, John O'Neill. Kosovo are rocking.
Yeah, they are rocking.
It's a terrible piece of play by Castrati.
But the ball down the side there from Charles again, puts the defender under pressure. Spencer does absolutely brilliant. This possesses him, but McMenamin's totally missed this.
Faligi it was the substitute.
That was the equaliser.
There's still time. Just under 5 minutes. Corner on the left-hand side for Northern Ireland. Ballard is up. Ballard wins the header and he puts it wide.
Yeah, they've got to react to this. I don't know if Kosovo have it in them to do it, but we've got to make sure we keep the pressure on them now for the
Northern
last,
Ireland,
what is it,
entirely different
7 minutes, is it?
No, less than that, John. 4.5.
4.5.
Another good jump by Daniel Ballard. Spectacular looking dive by Uchkani, who always knew the ball was going wide, and Conor Bradley is on for his 7th cap. He started the game against Greece, and he's replaced Brodie Spencer, who's had a little bit of everything in his first senior international start. Long ball forward by Kosovo. They're looking for a 4th goal, but the flag is up, and big Muriqi can't believe it. He's got his arms outstretched.
Yeah,
like that Brazilian statue. And he can't be. He's a dramatic theatrical figure, isn't he? Big Viking beard,
Yeah,
and he
it's
clattered
definitely
with
a foul.
Ballard.
He's coming to the back of Ballard.
Suddenly this game is finishing with a dash of excitement. That
Again, look at the passing from Charles.
now here's Bradley coming in off the right hand side, a little bit interpassing. Davis, two defenders in front of him, twists and turns, gives the ball back to Shea Charles. Charles now, lovely ball through, opportunity for White, squares it, Bradley, it's going to break, it's over the top. McMenamin has missed it, but the flag I think was up.
Yeah, the flag's gone for offside. I'll tell you what, Michael, if we said it before the game, why was Shea Charles not playing from the start? He's come on and transformed this game.
Just offside.
He might have been just offside.
But Conor McMenamin wasn't to know that.
No,
as he somehow scooped the ball over the bar from 5-6 yards out.
Yeah. Again, I thought that was the equaliser, but had it gone in, they would have given offside anyway.
Yeah.
It's
not the despair, it's the hope, John.
Yeah, it is. They're really nervous now.
3 minutes left.
Trying to lift them a little bit.
Northern Ireland need to see a board that says 4, 5 or 6 on it.
I know.
I don't think that's very likely, though. It all depends on the Danish match officials. They're going to give it a go. Here's Jordan Thompson. They're 3-2 down.
Oh, that's a foul, yeah.
And
he's lost the ball. Thompson's lost the ball there, and to be honest, he really needed to take Rashigi down because he'd gone.
He pulled the jersey. Surprised it's not yellow.
Get a book, yeah.
As it hasn't been a trouble is he sometimes missed the yellow with a replay being shown.
Yeah, I don't think.
But I don't think so. Well, Kosovo.
Oh, he has, Michael. He's putting it in the book now.
So that's a yellow for Jordan Thompson on his Nations League debut in this campaign. And Kosovo will take an eternity. They'll make a substitution, of course they will. Sahiti on for his first cap, midfielder Emir Sahiti, and he's going to replace Rashika, Norwich City, who has been terrific.
Yeah, he's had a great game.
Absolutely terrific. Has tormented Northern Ireland, involved in most, if not all, of the goals. Threatened to score a couple of times. The flag went up against him. Forced good saves out of Bailey Peacock Farrell, who wasn't to know the flag was up, but he's been terrific. Minute and a half of normal time left to play. We've yet to see a fourth official's board. Long ball forward by Kosovo. And I think the big fella's going to see it the entire game. Mariki, he does win the header, but it's going to drift out of play. Conor Bradley.
I think you're right, Michael. I think he wanted to stay on to see if he
wanted that
hat-trick, you know. But
like all true strikers.
Yeah, he needs to do a bit of defending, I think.
He's a greedy so-and-so, and that's a push on Conor Bradley. It'll be a Northern Ireland free kick inside their own half. Northern Ireland right.
Yeah, they're doing silly things now and giving away free kicks.
There's an air of desperation about this Kosovo performance that for, I don't know, 75 minutes was superb.
Superb, yeah. But you could see it, Michael. You could just see the team tiring. They were sinking further and further back. They were defending deeper, and they were inviting us on.
Ballard.
No, it's poor play by Ballard.
He's got away with this evening. He's kept the ball alive for Bradley. Ball infield. Kosovans are back in their masked ranks, and that's a challenge on this near side on Dion Charles, who thinks it should have been a free kick. But
they're not giving them now, Michael. I was watching the game last night. You know, probably all of the games.
Another Kosovan's got cramp, John.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. But this could be maybe a little bit of time wasting to try and take the pressure off a little bit.
It's
give them a bit of breather.
He's a big unit. Still we wait for
to me, that's just time wasting there. He's got up almost right away.
Are we going to see a board? We must be a board now, because we've got the 90 minutes have been played, and we're going to have six additional minutes.
You're right, Michael.
There is hope still. 6 minutes.
All we need is one chance. Get a good free kick in a good position.
We're seeing a replay of the challenge that led to Jordan Thompson's yellow card. And Northern Ireland need to win the ball back if they're going to do anything in these 6 minutes. And they have won the ball back on the left-hand side. Here comes Kieran Brown chugging forward. That's a very ambitious ball forward, and he's coughed up possession. And Kosovo can break on their right. And they might, as Warren Finney says, keep the back door closed. Northern Ireland just leaving it on the latch in case... well, they're having to pile forward, looking for an equalising goal. That's a clumsy challenge. The Kosovan was always going to win the free kick here, and Brown has taken a clatter. It's the meeting of the two number 22s. Brown taking down Johnny.
Yeah, they're going to take as much time as possibly can.
As would Northern Ireland if the boot was on the other foot, John.
That's the way you do it. You know, you take as long as possible. Try and make sure that, you know, that Northern Ireland can't gain any sort of momentum. Break it up as much as you can.
So I get my little C2 group table. Make changes because Greece are certainly making it 9 points from 3 games. 3-0 up with a minute left to play against Cyprus. Northern Ireland looking for an equaliser. They're 3-2 down, having been outplayed for long stretches in Pristina. Forward by Shea Charles. Northern Ireland have it on the left-hand side. Now White is forward, Dion Charles is forward. The big defender though nods it away for Kosovo. It's picked up by Ballard. Ballard like a white Sherman tank. That's a handball surely by Castrati, and that'll be, I think, a yellow card, and he will miss the next game.
This is a chance, Michael. This is what we're looking for.
Their game in Greece on Sunday, and I think he's aware of that fact.
We've got the free kick here. What is it, maybe 10 or 15 yards outside the 18-yard box, but almost on the touchline.
This is Professor Taggart's chance that you always get at the end of a game. Are Northern Ireland going to make best use of it? And it's Thompson once more standing over it on the apex, the right-hand apex of that Kosovan penalty area. Ujkani, the goalkeeper, is happy with the wall, cutting off the option, the 2-man wall to the near post.
Yeah, again, they're very deep. They're very deep. You want to get it out another 3 or 4 yards.
Third minute of stoppage time. In from Thompson. It's bouncing around.
We couldn't
and
even see the ball there
picked
for a
up.
minute.
It was lying on the back of Ballard's neck for a second there. Forward by Bradley. It's all hopeful stuff. Sliced clear by Kosovo. Bradley inside the centre circle. So nothing coming from that free kick. Thompson out to that far left-hand side, an ambitious ball, and it's beaten everybody and beaten McMenamin and is out of play.
Yeah, it was a poor ball by Thompson. It takes the pressure off them. I mean, that should have been put into the 18-yard box and get a challenge in there, whereas it was just drifts out for a throw-in over that far side.
3 of the additional 6 minutes have been played. We'll get the thoughts of John and Keith Gillespie and Warren Feeney with Joel at the conclusion of this game, but Northern Ireland have got the ball back with Evans.
Yeah, the centre forward who's been great all the game is really tired now.
And the referee has blown his whistle for a Northern Ireland free. He's not happy with the ball.
I don't know how that happened.
Suddenly he's not happy with the ball in the 94th minute of the game. Or were there two balls
in the park?
Balls
in the park, I think it was, Michael, yeah.
Waking up McNamee. Ballard wins the drop ball, or is allowed to win the drop ball. Gavin White infield to Shea Charles. 2 minutes of additional time left to play. That's not a great ball by Stephen Davis. Thompson did well to keep it alive for McMenamin. Back into Thompson. Kieran Brown popping up as a left winger. They need to get the ball into the penalty area, and it's Kieran Brown on the far left-hand side, and he's been clattered, and that'll be a free kick and possibly another yellow card for Kosovo, who are all over the shop.
Yeah, you would not believe this is the same team. They're giving away silly fouls, giving the ball away,
a yellow card for Fazliji, who also misses the. They're going to run out of players at this rate. He misses the game in Greece as well.
This could be the chance, Michael. They've got a free kick, although it's right out on the touchline.
Ridiculous challenge on Brown. Here comes. Well, I'm not sure that
I don't
free
think
kick
it was
is that
there.
far in field.
They've stole a few.
Yes,
I think they're right now. They've taken
told
it
to
right
get back.
To the touchline. Yeah, the referee's done that.
Batiki is making his point very firmly to Jordan Thompson and the referee. Here we are. This might be the last chance, the last hope of Northern Ireland grabbing a point in Pristina. You nearly put the goalkeeper up if this was. Well, you would have the goalkeeper up if this was our cup final. Here it comes. Thompson from the left-hand side. Everybody's up, flapped up by the goalkeeper. Forward by Bradley, and a mile over the bar.
I tell you what, the keeper did well, because this defence was piled right into the 6-yard box on top of him. I mean, if I had been the keeper, I would have been pushing them out to the penalty spot almost, but he gets a great punch on it.
He does with his
and
right
then Bradley
foot.
Comes in on the edge of the 18-yard box, can't keep it down, and that might be the last chance we had,
John O'Neill. And a Kosovan has gone down inside the penalty area. And to be fair, it is Mariki who has run his proverbial socks off.
He has struggled there the last few times the ball was knocked up to him. He just didn't have the energy, to control it the way he had been doing the whole game.
That's asking a lot of these fellas now to head to Greece, isn't it? On Sunday?
It is, yeah.
Well, a reduced squad. Only 7 outfield subs named tonight, but they did have a goalkeeper and a left back suspended. They will have a couple more suspended for Sunday. I think that is finished, has it? 3-0 to Greece. Northern Ireland win the header on the halfway line. There's 5 seconds of additional time left to play. Still the wait for a Nations League victory goes on. The ball is out of play on the halfway line.
Well, the 6 minutes are up now, Michael.
6 minutes are up.
Is he going to give him one more chance?
Yes, Greece have won 3-0. Long ball forward by Northern Ireland. Bradley jumping, and that's going to go out of play for a goal kick.
That's
and that is that.
Yeah. He's won the header but can't direct it across the box.
Big fella Mariki's asking for a response from the crowd.
That's it.
They have enjoyed it. Kosovo have beaten Northern Ireland in the first ever meeting of the sides. They've held on. They were wobbly for the last 5, 10, 15 minutes. They were exhausted after their efforts, but they outplayed Northern Ireland for long stretches of the game. Questions will be asked of Ian Barraclough. Questions will be asked of the players and the performance and the setup and the system. But in Group C2 for Northern Ireland, it's played 3, 1-0, 1-0 draw, and 2 defeats. They've lost by 3 goals to 2, despite that valiant last rally in the closing stages.
Yeah, they got back into the game, you know, with the goal at the start of just at the end of the first half, and then came out 5 minutes in the second half, and we're back to a 2-goal deficit. As the game went on, you could see it physically. They were getting tireder and tireder. Northern Ireland were invited into the game a little bit. To be honest, we didn't create a lot, but we got one good set piece, and Ballard buried the header. Charles come on, started getting us forward a little bit, but you know, it was desperation stuff, and at the end of the day the Kosovos deserved to win the game. And Michael, to be quite honest, they gave us a footballing lesson. Passed the ball better than us, supported better than us, and I don't know where he goes from here. I really don't.
The fans, the players, the backroom team of Northern Ireland, they could have no arguments that Kosovo were the better side.
No, I mean, if anybody want to watch the highlights tonight, you know, it'll be worth watching just to see how a team can play, how a team can pass the ball, get themselves up the field, support one another. When we get the ball, I don't think we know what we're doing. You know, when they get the ball, they know they've got midfield players that they can play it to. They've got a centre forward who's been excellent the whole game. He scored 2 great goals, but led the line brilliantly, coming off our back 3, setting everything up for them. They had a shape and a form, and you could see what they were trying to do. When I watch Northern Ireland play, Michael, I can't see what we're trying to do. The number of times that our centre halves are going in front of our midfield players and then hitting no-hope balls, you know, it's frustrating to watch.
He is not a saviour, but on what we've seen of Shea Charles, he has to start on Sunday.
He has to start, because the only player on the team that can pick a ball up from the back 4 and get turned and go forward. And you know, his pass into Charles, you know, brought the free kick from the defender, which led to the goal. His pass down the side allowed Spencer in to get the cross in, although at the end of the day McMenamin misses the chance. And but at least there was some sort of hope there, and he's the only one that I have seen, and all the players that we've played, who looks comfortable on the ball, receiving it with his back to goal and turning and going forward.
Is Father Time catching up with Stephen Davis? Is it asking too much from the start?
I think it is asking
3
too much.
3 games in 8 days, with travel,
without
with the heat.
Yeah, and to be fair to Steve Davis, he hasn't had the best of season in terms of injury and the COVID and all that there. So, you know, that is affecting him. But at the end of the day, Michael, imagine like Northern Ireland was using Steve Davis the way Rangers were doing it, bring him on as a sub and changing games, because he did that in the final, and that's, you know, that could be the way forward for Stephen Davis now. Now I'm sure if Ian Barraclough is saying to Steve Davis, I want you to start, Steve Davis is not going to say no. You know, he's not that type of player, but we could use him better. We maybe use him better in the future.
You know what will happen on social media? Ian Barraclough will get a lot of abuse after this result.
He will, and
in the same way that Michael O'Neill got abuse.
Look, at the end of the day, Barraclough has come out and said it after the, you know, the first 2 games. You know, if the performances aren't good, he expects to get it. It's how he deals with it. And to be honest, Michael, the criticism, it's justified. You know,
this group of players, this group of 27 picked for this nation, minus obviously Cathcart, Dallas, Washington, they should have done better.
They should have done better
in these 3 games,
without a doubt. And I keep going back to it again. You look at the game against Italy, you look at the game against Switzerland, where is that team now? It's not there, you know. Okay, I said it before, Dallas and Washington maybe could have come in and strengthened that side. But outside of that, Michael, you know, there's not a lot of players that can come in and change it. And I go back to the thing we were talking about with Stephen Davis coming into that game against Canada. It was the worst game I had seen Northern Ireland play in a long, long time. And he was the bright spark that eventually went on to be one of the best players we ever had. The only hope that I can see for us at the minute that might change it is Shea Charles.
Cyprus might have won the other night. They'll arrive at Belfast and they'll give it a go because they think we've a chance here. These guys are despondent. There could be 2-3 days build up of fingers being pointed. I'll tell you what, Michael, should be anger.
See the players there; they cannot wait to get this game over on Sunday. That's this whole Nations League 4-game header has been a disaster from start to finish, and he has to get a performance out of the team on Sunday, or I dread what the response is going to be like from the crowd.
John, I think they might want you to stay on to chat things over with Warren Feeney and with Keith Gillespie, but it's first ever meeting of the sides and a victory for Kosovo. It finished in Pristina. Kosovo 3, Northern Ireland 2.